you don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-688-6641. That's 800-688-6641. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become a valued part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
Summer's almost here, and it's time to tackle that to-do list. With an American Heritage Cash Reward MasterCard, get up to 3% cash back at home improvement stores, groceries, and pharmacies. And when the chores are done, treat yourself to a well-deserved vacation, earning 2% cash back on travel, hotels, and ride shares, and 1% on everything else you buy. Apply today at AmericanHeritageCU.org/credit cards. Subject to credit approval. Insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
And paid for by AG Marketing Group. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue to shoulder those monthly payments any longer. If you need to eliminate your timeshare commitment, then you need to take down this number. 800-866-7061. We will safely and legally get rid of your timeshare payments forever, all with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't continue to let your timeshare be a financial burden to you and your loved ones. Call us now at 800-866-7061. The call is free, the consultation is free. Call 800-866-7061. That's 800-866-7061. Again, 800-866-7061.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it's a good day already. I, as you know, am happy with this Hunter Biden conviction. Terry Moran, who every time they let this ABC News guy out, he shows who he really is. He's at the courthouse saying, well, anything people feel about this will be tempered by the scourge of addiction which affects so many Americans. Look, we've been through this, have we not? We've talked about this. We celebrate people that have beaten addiction or are fighting addiction and moving on with their life. Hunter Biden is not just about addiction. Hunter Biden's a bad guy, a privileged guy, who's gotten away with stuff that no ordinary human would ever get away with. Plus, the major crime is Ukraine, China, and God knows what with all kinds of people in the Biden family. All right, so the tax charges are up September 9th is that trial. I think he'll be convicted there too, and that might swerve into a lot of these alleged business dealings. And look, we can say that these laws that he violated, there were 2 counts on the piece of paper about addiction, and then 1 count of buying the gun. But the Bidens, Joe Biden particularly, have been among the biggest gun grabbers and running on that in one sort or another over the course of the last 50 years. So if Hunter Biden gets caught up in this kind of technicality, I haven't seen what the NRA has said. And I don't think this is the same thing as Trump, because there we had a federal law, alleged law, morphed into a state court. Here, it's clear that this is the law. Now, whether or not we ought to be prosecuting people around this, that's something else. But thank God this federal judge was there and didn't let Hunter Biden just walk away again. More the face of privilege than almost anybody I've ever seen or could think of from a party that always tells us about privilege. By the way, Dan, this was a particularly bad one. Why I'm thinking of Joe Biden. I don't want to forget to play cut 10A here. At the end of the sentence, Dan, this is almost as bad as the one we played when he was in Wisconsin in that brewery.
Yeah, this is bad.
And it was beyond gibberish. Here's Biden yesterday at a Juneteenth thing. And did you happen to see the pictures? Kamala Harris, I have to give credit, was one on stage with the main entertainer, was very good under that kind of pressure as a dancer. She was excellent. You know, it's a lot of pressure with everybody looking.
You know a lot about dance competitions.
Yeah, I do. And I would tell you this, if I had to do it to run for president, then get Arthur Murray. Who's the dance coach today? I don't even know who the dance coach is. He used to be Arthur.
Paula Abdul.
Yeah, Paul Abdul is a pretty good coach, I think. Yes.
All-time great.
Do you let Maisie lead? I didn't notice. I don't think so.
No.
No? Oh, I
just don't dance. I'm terrible.
Wow. I'm beyond. I danced at your wedding. Excruciating. That smile I had.
There were some cute pictures that came out of you and Ro.
Yeah, that's because Ro leads. She does the sway. She's listening right now. Oh, my God, yes. So here's Biden last night at the Juneteenth. See if you can tell me what he's saying at the beginning of this.
She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
How does he end the sentence? And he just continues on. He doesn't go back and no, I said gibberish. Let me correct that. Our freedoms never will be denied after what he said before. It could be Captain Crunch. It could be anything. All right. Here's a little bit more of the president. Of course, he has not lost the race card, playing the race card and talking about what Republicans are going to do to African Americans.
They're old ghosts in new garments trying to take us back. Well, there are. Taking away your freedoms, making it harder for black people to vote or have your vote counted. Closing doors of opportunity. Attacking the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you can believe it, banning books about black experiences.
There we go, yes.
Trying to erase and rewrite history.
All right. It's that he can say perfectly. He's got those memorized. He probably walks around the house screaming those things out, without a doubt. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in on the verdict or on anything else. And as I said, the tax trial might be more revealing on September 5th because I'm hoping that can swerve into somehow or another the business dealings and things related to it. All right. So also, Josh Shapiro yesterday. Now, Josh Shapiro really is a guy who wants to get into the ring. He wants to duke it out. You know, he's not satisfied with Pennsylvania. By the way, today's the 1-year anniversary of fixing 95, which I have to say they did a good job on. But Josh Shapiro wants to duke it out. And this is a Democrat tactic. They're claiming that conservatives or MAGA are running down America constantly. I'm not going to let you run down America. No, you've already run it down. So we're reacting to you attacking America, traditional America, screaming about abortion every 30 seconds. And when we come along and say we're going to prevent this, then we're accused of running down the country. Here's Josh Shapiro, including on national TV, the S word.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear this one.
Oh, no, he had it planned, Dan. He's rehearsing. I can see him in the mirror going, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Here he is.
Look, I don't know how the conviction will ultimately play out. I know that the good people of Pennsylvania, they care a lot, whether you're in rural communities, urban communities, suburban communities, about, 4 basic things. They want good schools for their kids. They want safe communities. They want economic opportunities, and they want their freedoms to be protected. And you know what? I think they want to be led by someone who is honest and decent, someone who's actually on their side, like Joe Biden. And all they hear from Donald Trump is a whole bunch of whining about this country. And I think Donald Trump's got to quit whining, got to quit trying to divide us. I mean, consider this, Jen. We're producing more energy than ever before in this nation. We have the strongest economy in the world, and we are beating China for the first time in decades. More people went to work this morning in America than at any other time in our nation's history. So I got a message to Donald Trump and all his negativity and his whining. Stop talking America. This is the greatest country on earth, and it's time that we all start acting like it. The good people of Pennsylvania understand that this is a great country, understand that we got a whole lot going for us. And now it's time for us to continue this path of progress that Joe Biden has laid out and not go back to a negative time, not listen to the whining of the former president, and instead focus on a positive future for all of us.
Quit your whining. It's a good message.
This guy, Dan, you can see, bring that bib in that we keep here. Break the glass on the big bib I need for this. When
Stop
Shapiro's
talking America.
The last time I had a tete-a-tete with him, Dan, was at the Norristown Zoo. Roe had a friend, so I did an auction that night. And he walks in and I said, oh, here is Commissioner Shapiro. And he made some remark, oh, Dom's on the left side of the room and all this stuff now. Hey, buddy, come on in the studio and tell us how this show runs down. I'll speak for myself. Do we run down America, you creeps? No. And you left out inflation there. Why did you leave out inflation? Economic opportunity. What about what he's done to the average American diminishing their life?
I want to know more about this auction. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. What was
like
it?
Antiques or car? And why were both you and Josh Shapiro at an auction?
It was an auction for...
Or like a charity auction?
Yeah, a charity auction for a good group.
Like buy a date auction?
No.
Wait, did you sell yourself as a date?
Well, we would have shut down afterward. We'd have raised enough money in the first 2 minutes. There we go.
Woo.
It was for Habitat for Humanity, something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And these were all kind of groups and all kind of bidding of things that they were going to give up. No, there was no...
I just thought you guys were at like some car auction, antique car auction. For some reason, you and Josh just happened to be there.
He just comes sidling in and says it. That's the last time. He used to come on the show when he was just a state rep. But yeah, come on and tell us. You can make national news. Just, Dan, ask this guy again. Come on and tell us, because Donald Trump is not here. You can tell me, you know what I say, relatively similar to this.
Stop talking.
Yeah. Dan, what does Josh Shapiro Jr., whatever the son is, think about that? Dad, you go and get him. Keep cursing.
He's got to be like in his early teens now, probably watching South Park. It's right,
yes, it's fine, yes.
Stop talking America.
Make sure there's no death penalty, though. That guy likes the death penalty. You can bring your son. It can be 2 against 1. I'll bring DJ.
Yeah, right?
No, I'm not turning that loose, Dan. You won't be able to stop it. All right. 855-839-1210. You get on board. Coming up, we'll play you Nancy.
Get him out of here.
Nancy Pelosi taking credit or discredit for not bringing in the National Guard. Julie Kelly, who broke this story about General Milley, Nancy Pelosi, and January 6th again in much more detail. She'll be here at 2 o'clock today. But this idea of whining. See, when they're in power, you're not supposed to say anything. What about Biden telling black people we're taking away their rights constantly after he put together a nonsensical sentence? Dan, did you happen to see him when everybody else was dancing around him? Kamala Harris was next to him. They had him frozen looking into space. It was... Now it's not even he can't walk off one side. If they let him stand there too long, it looks worse.
Why do they keep putting him in these type of positions, though? Like, you would think that they try to err him away from being on a dance floor.
Well, it was on the lawn of the White House. Yeah, I guess,
the theoretical dance floor there, yeah.
But you're right, his handlers are not doing a good job. How many times have you told them, just walk off anywhere, just step off the stage? All right, side question today. We love this one when it comes up every year.
Talking America.
Yeah, immortal words. There you go. This is graduation season, or it's just slightly past high school or college. So we were thinking, this came up because we were talking about tips yesterday. And I said, with Trump saying the tips thing, there's got to be something in here about tips. So Dan suggested, all right, let's give them a tip to a successful life. Could be funny. That counts even more. What would you tell, Dustin Hoffman in The Graduate, Dan? It's a little bit dated. You probably haven't seen it. The guy grabs him. He's graduated college. Just one word for you. Plastics. Go into plastics. That's it. The guy leaves. And I would say, got this from WIP. Somebody on the weekend, Dan. Mike Silsky. Huh. And I don't know if he did a graduation speech, and he said, write down the 5 most impactful days of your life in order, meaningful to you. Or 10, maybe he said 10. And then review them every year and put them in the same order or a different order. All right, so if it were me, I'm going to say when I met Ro, truly. You know, the birth of DJ and Luke, of course. But the first
Well, which was higher?
Meeting Ro. It is. I got to say, because nothing else matters is the way I look at it.
It is.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Well, the first day that I was on WWDB, you know what I talked about? I can remember it as if it were yesterday. And they couldn't believe it, Dan. I'm on like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. The very first actual I had done talk radio before of small stations. You pay to be on, that kind of stuff. This is big. This is one of the biggest stations in the country. The Faces of Death.
Hey, your first ever show?
You know about that, right?
Well, I knew that you used to imbibe in that. I didn't realize that was the first ever show you did, though.
Yes.
Wow.
Tommy McDonald was producing.
Really?
Yes, of course, yeah. And
so for those unaware, Tommy now does, like, if you come out to Mulligan's next Friday, you'll see Tommy probably with a light on his forehead as he engineers and keeps us on air.
And he'll tell you, this girl called in and said, I'm with my mother and she lets me watch it. I didn't know too much about talk radio then, but you know what I did instantly? Put your mother on. I'm not going to do it. You are going to put her on. And she kept talking, and the mother got on, Dan. After that, it was like off.
So when you were talking Faces of Death, you were talking anti it and
anti.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like bringing people on that were eating monkey brains. And
No, anti it, because I was teaching high school then, and I saw these kids watching this Faces of Death 1 through 10. They're awful.
Yeah, it was like the first meme. Well, it wasn't the first meme, but it was a meme before a meme. You know?
Yeah, and I was looking at some way to find something that wasn't being talked about. Oh man.
Yeah.
I call right after the show. I was hired to do weekends. So ask Tommy McDonald, though. He'll tell you that.
So I got 4 here. I got Ro, Bertha, DJ, Bertha, Luke, and first ever talk show. What's your number 5?
Well, Dan Borowski's in the top 10.
No, get me out of there.
No, it is. Oh. I don't know if it's in the top 5. No, I got to think about the 5th one.
Yeah. How about the first ever day that DJ or Luke was able to beat you in a game of pickup basketball?
That's a day that will live in infamy. Well, DJ, I don't think can.
What?
No, he can't.
Oh, come on.
No, I put anything on that. I'll win. Yeah. No, it's Luke that is the menace.
Yeah?
Yeah, and if he comes close to losing, he's the worst loser imaginable. You see how calm he is.
Wow. So you say about your one son that he can't beat you, and then you say the other one's the worst loser imaginable.
Oh, the other one I live to try to beat. It's almost impossible, Dan. It's not good.
I would put money on DJ.
Okay.
I'd put a Mulligan's drink on DJ.
All right.
Yeah, maybe one of these Mulligan's days. You set up a basketball net and have a one-on-one.
DJ's coming down the shore in July, I think.
Is he?
Yeah. So we'll have to.
July, one around the 4th that we do.
Or maybe we could set up maybe I can get him down there. I'll take that bet. All right.
I would love to see it.
What's yours again?
Happy wife, happy life is something that I always heard it throughout my life, but now that I'm married, it is so
But that is
true.
so incredibly sexist.
No, it's not. Come on.
It is. But true.
There is nothing that rhymes with husband, though. So.
I know. It's all true. Yeah, we don't get
happy
it.
husband.
We don't care if the husband's happy or not. The wife is going to be happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your charge today. That's the side question, 855-839-1210.
Rev up your golf carts. It's that wonderful time of the year again when 1210 WPHT Madness descends upon the Jersey Shore for a huge party on Wildwood's officially declared Dom Giordano Day. Join Dom from noon until 3 as he broadcasts live from Mulligan Shore Bar and Grill, where he'll be with Scott Presler and some other great friends, with live music provided by the great Burning Sky, the ultimate Bad Company experience. That's live from Mulligan Shore Bar and Grill in Wildwood, Dom Giordano Day, June 21st, noon until 3.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. As you know, I'm a dad. I got 3 beautiful kids, and I know what dads want for Father's Day. They want memories. They want family time. They want great food. Food around the grill. That's what I love. That's why Omaha Steaks makes it so easy to make dad happy, and you can get packages for dad starting at just $89 when you go to omahasteaks.com and use my promo code Zioli at checkout. That's right. Father's Day is almost here. You got to get cracking on this. Dads don't need another shirt. They don't need another hat. What they want is great steaks. And there are no steaks better than Omaha Steaks, because every steak at Omaha Steaks is aged for 28 days. That is how you enhance the steak flavor. Plus, backed by the most unbelievable guarantee in the business. Packages for dads starting at just $89 when you go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code Zioli at checkout. Do it today, because Father's Day is almost here and you want to make dad happy. And as a dad, I can tell you we love steak. omahasteaks.com, promo code Zioli.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. ramp.com/250.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Percy, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Remember to take us anywhere with the free Odyssey app.
Hey, mama, I'm going away. I'm going to hit the big time.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in. Let me see on that Mike Sealski tip. Does meeting Dan Borowski was under unusual circumstances. He was this eager producer down at the Jersey Shore when I was filling in on a national show. And I was thinking, oh, not bad.
You know, I was thinking last week we had Bob Kelly on, the Hound, right?
Yeah.
And he came to us because Ed Snyder's right-hand man, Dave Koski, he's still a mutual friend of both of ours, and he worked closely with the Flyers still. And thinking full circle, the first time that we really met, he took a picture of us. Remember that?
Yes.
And I was like 150 pounds heavier than I currently am. And I look back on that picture, I'm like, what the hell was I eating back then? But it's been a long time now.
Quite a transformation. By the way, this conviction marks first time sitting President Child has been found guilty of a crime. President Biden, Dan, will go to 1:30. We have maybe we want to tape some of it. We'll get his reaction at 1:30, but we also have Dave McCormick and Joni Ernst, both senators here in town together. We'll see. I don't think jail time is going to be in the offing here. But your reaction to it after all this. I know it's easy to say, well, look, this isn't the heart of it, this. The heart of it is Biden, not just Hunter Biden. It's the whole Biden crime family, Ukraine, China, and the whole thing. I get it. And I get the yearning to put some of this aside, but it doesn't work that way. It's an inch-by-inch thing. All right, I'll play you in a moment. Nancy Pelosi taking accountability, and then the day of, on a phone call that was taped, videotaped, but then not taking accountability yesterday and saying it was all made up for what happened on January 6th. And her role, a lot of it is General Milley, though. And the General Milley's guys inside there who dragged their feet. I told you, they didn't want Trump to use the National Guard. They thought he would commit a Reichstag. What was Trump going to do? How many times have we said this? African-American men from D.C. are going to overthrow the government for Donald Trump. That was Milley's theory. And this guy was in charge of our military. Wow. Let's go to Nancy in Philly to start off with on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Dom and Dan.
Hi.
I have 2 points about the Hunter Biden verdict of guilty. First of all, I think Kamala Harris, who was appointed to be the gun czar, who was always crying after school shootings, which happened in gun-free zones, I think she should come out and she should say, no one is above the law. Secondly, Trump should remind people that some of the evidence that caused the conviction against Hunter came from the laptop that Biden himself and all the Democrats denied was real. And they claimed it was Russian interference in order to interfere with Biden's election.
The only thing, tell me how you think about this, Nancy. I don't want to trigger Trump to start talking about 2020 again. I know it's hard, and you made a valid point there. In fact, the number one question Stephanopoulos wants CNN, he told one of their anchors last night, or yesterday that was on his show, ask him about 2020. I don't want Trump going into 2020. I don't see the upside. When he sticks on what he did in the South Bronx and a couple of other places, it's a win-win-win.
Well, Dom, you know, when when Trump just got convicted, they were claiming that his paperwork wrongdoing was in order to interfere with the election. So they're the ones who keep raising it.
I know. But again, when Trump does that, I think he gets off message. I mean, we know the media advantage, Nancy. He's got all the cards. I don't want him talking about that when he's got so much. Look at what he did the other day, the brilliant stroke. We're going to get rid of the tax on tips. That was out of the box. Keep doing stuff like that.
I'm sure he will.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Nancy. Look, I know some people don't like you, and some people want to. I know what the temptation is. Stephanopoulos, talking to Abby Phillips, says, well, the question I want your anchors to ask right out of the box, who won the election of 2020? You see what the tactic is here. You know, I know the urge and all the evidence and everything else. What are you winning by doing that? The answer is nothing. You got all the cards right here. The inflation card, the illegal immigrant card, the just contrast of Biden, his inability to put his sentence together. These are the things to stick on again and again and again and again. Don't go back, push forward. The tip thing the other day was a perfect example. That's good stuff. It's strategically smart. It has people thinking, I don't know if that could be done, but just think of what my life would be like if Trump were able to do something like that. All right, here's Nancy Pelosi. This is January 6th, and she's talking about, we're going to have to take responsibility for not having the National Guard up there. She's driving. I think she was driving away from the Congress at that point. She's in a phone conversation with one of the people charged with either getting the National Guard there or the Capitol Police. Here's what she said.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability
Come on, Terry.
for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient
No,
resources.
there's not a question of how they had been. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
All right. So she's sort of blaming the minions there, and then she's moving back and forth. You would think something like this, you know, all the fantasies they have against the Trump people, that they might think that something really bad could happen there, they'd have them on speed dial to be ready to go. Lenny and Pittman is next. Lenny's in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Lenny, welcome in.
Dom, it's always a pleasure to speak with you. Just
Thanks,
real
Lenny.
quickly, a few points. Looks like nobody's above the law, but one thing that really confuses me, I hear it again and again, and I heard it today. The family is so close. Joe talks with talks with him every day. Was he talking in between the 20 minutes he was doing crack on the hood of a car, or did he miss talking to his son? I get tired of hearing this. If you were that close to him, he's been doing cocaine since the Navy. You didn't sense something? And I have a great right thing Trump should do for the debate, if it ever does happen. He ought to have a shopping cart. All you need to know about this election is go to the food store. Trump ought to stand there, let Joe tell you how Bidenomics is working, and then Trump ought to hold up a gallon of milk and go, when I was in office, this was $2.99. It's now $7.99.
Yeah, that is a brilliant ploy. They probably can't bring artifacts on there, Dan, but maybe you can put something in his pocket, a roll of cheese or something, and bring it out.
How about like a can of baked beans that was 99 cents is now $3.99?
That would be a good ploy. Lenny, what's your words of wisdom? You have somebody graduating from college or high school. What would you tell them?
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lenny. Man, a little bit of advice. Dan,
that is not a good answer.
Have we come up with too hard of a question here today? That's a side question.
Maybe too sentimental?
Well, the other tip I was going to give is, and I say this all because I believe this more than anything. They can be smarter than you. They can be more handsome or more beautiful than you. They can have better hair. Well, doubtful. But the one thing they can't do that you have the choice on is outworking you. I would argue working smart. You know, all right, which one of us is going to work till the other one can't take it? Which one? I'm looking you in the eye. Or to quote the not great Woody Allen, 98% of life is just showing up.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah.
Right. A couple of good ones on Twitter, Dom.
Okay.
Freddie says plastics. We already visited that one.
Okay.
Head of Lettuce says, if the person in the college graduate has a degree that ends in studies, tell them to learn the phrase, you want fries with that?
Yes. What are you going to do now, kid? Yes, that could be a potential winner, yes.
And Michael says, vote based on policies, not the personality of the person. Also vote for someone not against the other person. Real life isn't like American Idol.
Okay, all right.
It's a data reference. I don't know if anyone's watching American Idol.
Oh, James Biden, Hunter's uncle, looked angry as the verdict was being read. Observers say, oh, not James Biden. He's getting mad.
James? Isn't it Jim?
Yeah, I think it's Jim Biden to his Ukrainian colleagues. Yes,
professional here.
Yeah, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All that you have to do is just push pound 1210, and we'll get you on board. Hey, Father's Day coming up. Don't forget about summer cookouts. All good reasons to make the call to Captain Chucky's. Order delicious seafood and make that gathering a bigger hit. Let Captain Chucky's help. Don't forget to order the brand new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake. Now, this is a delicious, creamy 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick for those who like to spice it up with some heat. Check your store for availability. Perfect time, too, to check out all those other Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuff, mushrooms, the salads, sides, desserts, they're all there. Soups, big soup time. And Captain Chucky's has several choices of breaded, non-breaded crab cakes, literally a crab cake for everybody. They only use the highest quality ingredients. The Gulf shrimp is a huge hit. It's always wild caught and never farm raised. My favorite, too, those delicious Dom rolls. You got to have the Dom rolls. So visit Captain Chucky's today. There's a location near you, I'm sure of that. Just visit WeLoveCrabCakes.com, WeLoveCrabCakes.com. If you're going to the shore, if you're going to the shore, go to CaptainChucky'sAtTheShore.com.
Business deserves a strong financial leader. More than an accounting firm, you need a professional who will focus on growth and profitability. With Styles CFO Services, now you can afford an experienced CFO at the fraction of the cost of a full-time CFO. Styles CFO Services offers surprisingly affordable hourly rates, no retainers, contracts, or minimums, and a complimentary 21-point financial assessment. Visit StylesCFO.com. That's STILESCFO.com. Accelerate the growth of your bottom line today with Styles CFO Services.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become a valued part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
This is the best time of the year for being outdoors, but not if your knees, shoulders, back, or hips are hurting you. Hey, Dawn Stensland here. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call my friends at QC Kinetics today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Body's own ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. So, you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move again, play frisbee on the beach, pain-free. Under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics has enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. Call now, QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000, 215-999-3000. Get a free consultation, 215-999-3000. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com. Weather sponsored by Liberty Mutual.
A cool and pleasant air mass remains in place across the Delaware Valley today. It'll be partly sunny with a high temperature below average at 76. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 62 for the city, cooler in the suburbs, and a warmer day on Wednesday, mixture of sun and clouds with a high 82.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
In the ground, yeah.
All right, Dom Giordano Show, 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. You just push pound 1210 and we'll get you on board. So the conviction of Hunter Biden, is anybody going to say, look, do we need to do all the things like this addiction thing and guns when the Democrat Party wants more gun laws, more of these things? And this was a dangerous thing, leaving a gun in a trash in a manner that they did, but it's just typical of what this guy's been doing forever. I mentioned Terry Moran from ABC News saying, well, people are going to take a look at this and the scourge of addiction. This guy and this family have weaponized how many times with addiction? So then how in the world was he doing all these business deals? How in the world was all that money coming to him if we have to realize when something goes awry, he's in the throes of addiction, and Republicans are just trying to drive him back to addiction. It's just, not only are they crooks, this family, the crime family, but they're inept. They're stupid on top of it. And yet they seem to have advanced and taken in millions of dollars. That's what the beef is here. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Side question today, too. Hit us with that words of wisdom, that advice, somebody graduating high school or college. Let's go to Ken in the Northeast on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Ken.
Hey, Dom. How are you?
Good, Ken.
I'm calling it. I don't have something that you hear like every day or something, a saying or something. My advice, and I think it's great advice because I followed it all my life, is unfortunately today all you have to do is what you're supposed to do. Nobody does what they're supposed to do anymore, and I'm talking about communication, showing up on time, doing the job right. sticking behind your work. Nobody does that anymore, and all you have to do is what you're supposed to do, and you will be successful.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to screw up, Ken. I agree with that. That's good wisdom, you know? And if you really put in extra effort, oh, my God, you know, you might actually be really successful. All right. See, you might have a funny one. Might be something your dad or mom told you that stuck with you. Might be kind of corny or funny. That's what we're looking for here. Tipping, a tip. Give a tip. Can you imagine what Joe Biden's tip might be, Dan? God only knows the things he said over the years.
I do have a tip. Actually, it's from both Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden combined.
All right.
She knows so long as she was 9.
No, that is not a question of how they don't know.
Well, there
Great
you go,
advice
kids.
from those two.
Take it, kids. Take it and run with it. One's a president. One was the first female Speaker of the House. You can succeed in America and have a head of mush. It's possible to do it. It happens all the time. All right, Stephen Jameson on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Steve.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Love your show.
Thank you, Steve.
I need some clarification now. I'm a little confused.
Yes.
We have the president's son who went for trial and convicted, but back when his father debated Trump, Trump said about the laptop, and he said that's Russian disinformation. And if I stand corrected, 51 officials in the American government had written a letter saying the same thing, that
exactly.
It's Russian disinformation. Okay, so in federal court, they had an FBI agent that said, this is Hunter's laptop. This laptop has not been tampered with, and he gets found guilty. So does Biden look like a fool that he lied to the American people, and he says, I'm not going to pardon my son? So could they throw Hunter into jail and say, look, we put the president's own son in jail. Now Donald Trump can run his campaign from the jail cell. And then after everything goes bye-bye, the president says, oh, I'm going to pardon my son.
Oh, he is.
Could that happen?
Sure. He is going to pardon his son. There is no doubt. If he loses, he'll pardon him. If he wins, once he gets over the finish line. And I differ with you a little bit. He may have looked foolish in that this laptop was real. But, Steve, he was smart. All they wanted to do was to get over the finish line. That's all they wanted. Any words of wisdom, Steve, for a graduate?
Think hard before you vote.
Well, don't think too hard. It's not that hard. You're just looking at two corners of what we have. The tax trial is what I'm looking forward to coming up. I thought more people might react, though. Josh Shapiro just does set me off, though. So lucky to have to run against a dope in Doug Mastriano here, just completely clueless, who wrecked everything, versus any one of the other three guys. It would have been an interesting thing to see them debating the great Shapiro, saying, you Trump people, stop whining and stop running down the country. Can you imagine? We're running down the country. Is he running down the country to say we want the country to reach the greatness that it had? That's running down the country. So if a Democrat is in charge, by definition, everything's fine. You can't be critical of that, or you're running down the country. You know what it reminds me of, Dan? At the end of his speeches, Biden always does this. And I don't know about you, but you never will win betting against the United States of America. We're not betting against America. We're betting against you and your policies. No one's betting against America. Every time the betting against America thing, to kind of wrap themselves up after they spend with their policies everything they do to run down. Now, I wanted to morph that with something. Dom Day, a week from this Friday. Hope to see you there at Mulligan's. No greater spot. There is another thing happening on that. I was just Googling to see day in history. What happens on June 21st? And June 21st is a day that we don't celebrate enough. We reached the magic number in 1788 when New Hampshire ratified, the ninth state to ratify the Constitution. Now, it didn't go into effect for a short time later, but that was the magic number that was set forth. 9 states out of the 13 had to ratify it. When it happened, we officially had the greatest document in human history, well, American history at least, the Constitution. And it's a fair point, I believe, to say the other side just can't stand the Constitution because it restrains their impulses to more and more federal government, more government in our lives. Also, yesterday, Scott Presler reporting the Bucks County numbers are in for the week. It's now 906 for the blue, the red closing. We're only down to 906. It's going down about 115 a week. So I think sometime in early August, Bucks County is going to be officially registered red. Now, this guy's a great incrementalist, Presler. He's got people around the country writing people in Bucks County. Or if anybody goes to Bucks County, Dan, they're telling him, you got to vote. We're only 906 registrations. Got the whole country doing it. Why? That's how you win. The inspiration of the idea. So what magically is going to happen, Dom, on that day? Well, what's going to happen is, he's right. There's going to be more donation, more excitement, more people realizing that the suburbs are not as blue as they think they are. We've taken back Bucks County officially. I think Chester County's doable. Now, Montgomery County, we're going to need a lot of work there, but we got years. Someday it might be red again. All right, 855-839-1210. Hit us with something maybe funny, something inspirational. What would you give as a piece of advice to someone graduating? Coming up.
Stay away from radio.
Oh, come on then. Coming up, the numbers are into. I have a little bit more numbers. Well, sadly, and I love Sherelle Parker as mayor, Dan, but she wants to put speed cameras up and down Broad Street. Oh, man. I'll give you the numbers, though, of what PennDOT says, of why they're having trouble collecting on the places where they have red light cameras and speed cameras. What could be wrong? In other words, they document that the person went through the red light or is going too fast. Why can't they collect, though? What is it that is stopping collections? I'll give you that coming up. And your calls here with Dom on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
As we honor a veteran on the first Wednesday of every month, Dale Weatherall is with us. Why specifically is mentorship so important for veterans?
A lot of veterans, they sign up at a young age and they're put in situations where they're in a leadership position, they're being mentored, they see how impactful that is in their life. So it's a way to pay it forward.
Dale, thank you so much for your service. It's a pleasure. Dale is a big part of the Travis Manion Foundation.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
According to a study conducted by Atticus Law Firm, 40% of retirees were forced back into the workforce because they received a deceptive sales pitch from their broker. But there is one way to ensure that you don't become part of that statistic.
Tony Gambone and Denise Gambone, Lawyersport, Pennsylvania.
I know people that had to go back to work because they got bad investment advice from brokers. By recording our sessions, Crash Proof Retirement proves they're willing to put their money where their mouth is.
The recordings used by Crash Proof Retirement, it's just a natural extension of how Crash Proof is legally bound to do right for the consumer.
Guarantee legally binding transparency for your retirement future. Schedule an appointment or register for the next Crash Proof Retirement educational event at Downingtown Country Club on Tuesday, July 23rd. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Get slimmer for the summer by losing a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days with NJ Diet. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or go to njdiet.com. Get ready for spring with njdiet.com.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause, brought to you by Advocacy United, this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that'll affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Dawn Stensland here. Summer kicks off road trip season for many of us, but do you really know if your vehicle is road trip ready? My friends at Piazza Premium Automobiles are going to help you make sure you and your family are safe on the roads. The service centers of the Piazza Premium dealers not only handle your regular maintenance needs, but also diagnose possible issues before they can happen. Schedule a service appointment online today. PiazzaPremiumAutomobiles.com for that dealer nearest you. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Virtua Health, real patients, real doctors, real complex cases. Take one.
Open heart surgery, tear in my aorta.
The most complex cases come to us at Virtua Health.
I'm sure I wouldn't have been here without you.
Being a 45-year-old, not being able to walk up one flight of stairs, I had no idea I was in heart failure.
Virtua is a premier heart failure center in South Jersey.
They changed my life. It's truly a blessing.
Want to follow our stories? Go to virtua.org. Virtua Health, here for good.
Imagine taking a shower that never runs out of hot water. Well, here's some good news. Bradford White's Infinity Series GS and GR tankless water heaters deliver endless hot water whenever you need it. They're highly efficient too, saving you energy and money. Like all Bradford White water heaters, they're built to be the best for years of reliable performance. How you heat your water matters. Learn more about our Infinity Series tankless water heaters at bradfordwhite.com.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien High Efficiency Tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Free speech lives here. With Dom Giordano weekdays noon till 3. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
All right, it is the Dom Giordano Show, 855-839-1210. You get on board. Apparently, as far as we can tell, several reports today indicating very little change in Trump support post-verdict. But I would maintain, you got to know the enemy and what they're thinking. The Democrats who concocted all this to try to figure out some way to stop Trump, they think they would stop him with a guilty verdict directly. It doesn't work that way. The smarter ones realize, though, even though it's minimal, there is some damage there. But the calculation could be off because whatever you gain by saying convicted felon, it has roused people, both fundraising and people that are looking at this in a different way with President Trump. So much so, I thought Alan Dershowitz made a point I was going to make at the beginning of the show. He said last night, Trump should wish for an acquittal for Hunter Biden. Now, I couldn't go that far, particularly if I've just been found guilty on bogus charges, and this guy actually did it.
Yeah, but that'd be a huge political win.
Yeah, I think Trump deep down might be rooting there. I hate them and all that stuff, but they're going to pardon him anyhow. It's a huge political win if he was acquitted. I would agree. Double standard of justice. Now they're trying to spin it back when finally things have caught up with this guy for all kinds of criminal behavior. That it shows you nobody's above the law. Look at how this works. Nothing above the law. Knowing they have the pardon in their back pocket, etc. And I'm convinced more, even though seeing Biden last night. So, Dan, when you're watching that, it strengthens your case. They're going to tag him out, right?
Yeah.
Last night in Juneteenth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was moronic, I hate to say.
Yes, yeah. Well, it doesn't strengthen it, in my view, because Dr. Jill Biden is standing there. That's right. We're going to continue this masquerade. We don't have that much longer.
I mean, listen to the words of wisdom from the guy.
She knew so long as she was 9.
Yeah, and even the supporters, when the others are dancing for Juneteenth, and he's frozen, it looks like they're holding him up there, and he's just staring way out, straight ahead. No movement of the head. It was like he could be anywhere. If that doesn't tell, that's not a normal reaction to just that's just amazing.
His batteries died.
Yeah, it was one of the worst nights for cognitive decline that we've seen. So I put it out there a little while ago. Stephanopoulos, right? The question they have to ask Trump, he's telling CNN that he had an anchor on. Ask him about who won in 2020. See, that's all that they want to do with this.
Prodding him.
And I had a caller, Dan. You could tell. Nice one called in the beginning, right? She doesn't want to hear. We don't want to talk about 2020. We don't want to go there anymore. Now, after winning, you could talk about 2020, investigating, going back, knock yourself out. Do all of it. I'm fine. What Trump did in the South Bronx, that's the template. What he did the other day in Vegas, with the out-of-the-box thing, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, no taxes on tips. I'm not sure if I fully agree in the end with that. But the mere notion, well, this is Trump. This guy might do anything. People in Nevada, you're going to see when the polling comes back post-election, they're going to remember that. And if it's close, it was very close the last time. But short of something we can't possibly know now, I'd have to say Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia, I will be shocked if Trump doesn't carry those. So you know what that means? We're up. Because I'll be surprised if Biden in the end doesn't carry Michigan and Wisconsin.
Spin machine's already starting.
Yeah?
Want to hear Chuck Todd?
Yeah, Chuck Todd.
Abilities as president.
Chuck, your thoughts?
Well, to pick up on something Claire was saying there, I think that, if Biden has lost something with the American people over the last few years, it's that reminder that he is sort of the opposite of Trump on empathy, right? He's the opposite of Trump on some of these things. And I think this verdict, their reaction to it versus how the Trumps have reacted to the rule of law, certainly I think presents that character contrast, with a group of voters who are not, by those that are left that are not happy with their choices. And I think, to try to figure out who this politically benefits, I'd think this, it hurts Trump. Hard stop.
So he always has empathy. And Dan, thanks for that. I'm going to leave it at that in the next hour. This man has shown no political empathy, meaning faking it, pretending. I feel your pain. I know about inflation. Jim, you may feel ready to help me out here in the next hour. Give me a little bit better version. But my point being, Biden cannot show empathy on inflation. He just can't bring himself to do it.
Get right over to Rachel Scott.
And even if Dan makes an attempt at it, what is he going to say that he's going to do differently? He thinks he's doing fine. What are they going to do to stop this baked-in inflation? They will not do the things that we need to do to get out of it. He will not do it.
You want more?
Yeah.
I got ABC's Rachel Scott reacting.
This verdict certainly flies in the face of everything that the former president has been pushing, trying to undermine the legal and the justice system. And we know President Biden has come out very strongly against that. And it was notable that he told you just days ago that he would respect the outcome of this verdict regardless of what happens. We know that is something that the former president has not done after he was found guilty on 34 counts of falsifying business records and that hush money trial there in Manhattan. We know he has tried to undermine the justice system entirely. The White House so far, David, as of now, has not commented, but we know that they are watching this and following it very closely. Just that image of the First Lady walking out of that courtroom hand in hand with Hunter Biden just underscores how close this family is. And the president has not really commented much on this federal investigation. He says that he would not do that, but he did make clear to you that he has completely ruled out the possibility of pardoning his son. In a statement, the White House and the president said that they have boundless support and love for their son, Hunter Biden. We know that the president has talked about how he's been on the straight and narrow, how he's so proud of his son, Hunter.
All right. I mean, that's sickening. That is more sickening than Stephanopoulos or anything else. My God. So empathy, they have the empathy card. They follow the rule of law. All right. The difference here is these are legitimate. These are legitimate violations that were proven. These are not something you have to pull heaven and earth together to concoct, as happened in the Trump case. That's the difference. That's a pretty big difference, is it not? 855-839-1210. You get in with Dom right now on Talk Radio 1210.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS has raised the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes in recent years. This hits hard if you're behind on your taxes. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. If you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Imagine outpatient care where all your needs are met in one location. Jefferson Health's Honickman Center is where you'll discover nationally ranked specialty care and more, like patient ambassadors, imaging and lab services, a pharmacy, calming spaces, and valet parking. Designed by patients for patients. Discover a new level of care, created with you in mind. To schedule an appointment, call 1-800-JEFF-NOW.
Hi, everyone. Matt here from Emmons Roofing and Siding. There are a lot of companies out there that say they do roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Some good, some not so good. Be careful of those that say buy two, get two free. Does that really make sense? Think about it. At Emmons, we don't offer gimmicks, just quality products installed by our experienced craftsmen. We do offer 12-month same as cash financing, though. That's not a gimmick. That's because we know how tough it is for some people right now to get these projects done. If you need roofing, siding, or windows and doors, call us for a free estimate today at 856-885-6677 or visit us at callemmons.com.
We don't care who you vote for in the upcoming election. You know why? Because this is not a political ad. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group meet with people every day wondering if they should be doing something different with their money because it's an election year. At Retire Ready Financial Group, we want you to know where your money is, how it's performing, and if the market does go down, how does it affect your retirement? We call it a portfolio snapshot, and we do it at no charge. Our goal is for you to have confidence as you enter retirement, confidence to spend, and confidence that you won't run out of money. Let's vote those election worries right out of your retirement. For your complimentary portfolio snapshot, call 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or go to retirereadyfg.com. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC. NPN number 2083768.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive. Like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
At this point, we wait to hear more, whether there might be some reaction from the president himself in the form of a statement. And just noting, too, Jose, that the president has said that he loves his son, that he and the First Lady love their son, that they're proud of him and the person that he's become, referencing his ability to combat a drug addiction and to seemingly come out on the other side a better person. And so at this point, Jose, we'll wait to see if we hear more from the president.
Where's the evidence of that? What job has this guy ever had? I think his latest job is writing the memoirs, which include stuff that was used in court here and or the phony artwork. My goodness. I want to hear from you, too, if you are the parent. The last time this came up, Dan, I don't know if it was Hunter Biden that brought this up. We had that guy call, and we got to ask Pastor Bill Devin if he's listening. Whatever happened to the guy who immediately that night, thanks to Pastor Bill Devin, went into rehab, was admitted, which took quite a bit on the part of Devlin to do that. It may have been around Hunter Biden, I'm not sure, because he wrote a column. The Republicans want me to go back into addiction. I'm going to stay strong for my father. Oh, stop it already. Just stop it with this stuff. Just the weaponization of addiction here to excuse everything this guy's done. So does that mean when someone is addicted, the laws don't apply? Now, of course, you could argue in certain ways, shapes, or forms there might be mitigation, but maybe not. If Hunter Biden's addicted, gets into a car, he's high, and he runs someone over, I don't think it's mitigated. I think it's worse. So it depends. But constantly, this tension, and you heard what Dan found from Chuck Todd, and then the Rachel Scott, the empathy card.
Oh, I have more from Todd.
Here's more from Chuck Todd.
So here's Todd saying that it's Biden's choice. He chose not to shut down the Hunter prosecution, propping that up as a benefit.
God.
Think this, it hurts Trump. Hard stop. You don't know if these things help Biden at all, but it certainly hurts Trump because I think his rhetoric about a rigged system really works against him when you look at all of the supposed advantages that the Bidens had in this case, right? It was a person that was appointed by Merrick Garland. As Claire McCaskill pointed out, Joe Biden had the power to stop this if he chose to. If he chose to pervert the rule of law, he could have done that, but he chose not to do that.
How would he have done that?
This was a Delaware jury who the Bidens have won. Many a Biden has won many election in that state. And we know all of those are registered voters. Perhaps all of them or most of them have voted for a Biden at least once in their life. And that still showed you that the rule of law was able to stay above the political fray. So, look, I think the most important thing to come out of today is the American system. I challenge you to find me another country where their son, the leader's son or daughter, at the moment would be prosecuted like this, the way it happened here.
Okay, let's do the true on this, and I don't have every inch of it in front of me. How long did they drag their feet to any number of crimes were past the statutory limitation? Andy McCarthy was as level-headed as anybody on my show several times, talking about the foot dragging that's going on constantly with this guy over year after year. They had a fixed plea deal, and what happened? The judge sniffed it out in this case. And this federal judge is the hero. This is the John Sirica Watergate reference that sniffed it out and stopped it here. That's what happened. That's the only reason this happened. My goodness. Oh, yeah. Stan has Claire McCaskill now. Let's see what kind of brew she has.
Just was curious as to how you see the impact of this.
Yeah, contrast is everywhere. And I hope that those voters that will make a difference, particularly in the swing states, are paying attention to the contrast. You had Donald Trump giving a speech over the weekend that was bizarre, a rant about sharks and nonsense. And then you had President Biden at a cemetery in France celebrating those heroes that gave their life to fight tyranny and support freedom of the world. And now here's another contrast. And as Andrew pointed out and others have pointed out, you have a president who doesn't interfere, doesn't pardon his friends, doesn't lambast the rule of law, even though he had the power to stop this prosecution against his own son.
How did he have the power to do that? How much more did they do? Now, Merrick Garland here, though, Dan, as much as there are problems with Merrick Garland, has done a couple of times things here that are going to get him fired. He won't be in the second term. He's the one that put Robert Hur in there to interview Biden on the classified documents that Biden definitely made money off of with his biographer, and talked about the fact he's well-meaning, but he doesn't know where he is. So I can't attack Merrick Garland on this one. But the foot dragging that went on, that's exactly what they were playing out, and they were stopped by this judge. And here, it's got to come back to Trump. This is very reminiscent of what I played you with Josh Shapiro. Shapiro yesterday on the Jen Psaki show telling us that he's tired of Trump running down the country, whining against the country. This is a great country. Like, we don't know that? Like, we're not, you're not stealing that away from us, buddy. You're part of the party that doesn't believe it. You know it. We all know it.
The hits keep flying. I got Andrew Weissman if you want to hear.
Oh, the all-timer, the guy who says he has a man crush, a bro hug for Judge Merchan. Here's Andrew Weissman.
I'm more interested in what it tells us about the rule of law in this country in two ways. One, the son of the sitting president was pretty quickly tried. He was given due process and he was found guilty. And you have the current president, the father of the defendant, making it absolutely clear that he is not pardoning him, that he could have ordered at any time his Justice Department to get rid of this case. He did not do that. He has said that he is not planning on pardoning him as well. And I really think that if you look at this case, what is the big picture here? It's not a drug addict who possessed a gun for 2 weeks. It is that you have a president of the United States who is living embodiment of the rule of law, even with respect to his only living son.
Only living son. Nice play there, Beau Biden. Hunter, Dan, is my only living son. Have I told you about Beau Biden today? That poor guy, who by all accounts was a good American, served, volunteer, military, the whole thing, used shamelessly by these Bidens, right? The one, I don't know which one I'd love to interview, no holds barred on this, Dr. Jill Biden or Hunter Biden's wife. Oh, my God. But Hunter Biden said, Dan, after the verdict, that beating addiction is possible by the grace of God, and I get gifts of this every day. Am I supposed to believe this? Are we supposed to just... No. Do you have it? Okay.
No, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a written statement or he said it at the courthouse. Boy, instead of a day where finally some sense of justice, and really, this is not the trial. The trial is going to be the tax case on September 5th. And the reason for that is, I have to look at it in detail. I think it will bank shot somehow or another into all the business dealings, where that money came from, et cetera, and all the people that have talked about that. That's what we're really concerned about. Dan, you had something?
Just a little. I'm looking at some footage of Hunter leaving the courtroom and all. And he left the courtroom holding both the hands of the wife or girlfriend and his and Jill.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of weird to hold your mom's hand when you're that age?
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you be holding your mother's hand walking out of court though?
Yeah. Well, did he have the Bible with him today too? Oh, my goodness! Come on. We're not going to weaken on this. We're not the people that did. You don't deserve any of this. You haven't proven anything in your life. If you are over your addiction and all that, great. We always celebrate that. But the notion of spinning this, see, Trump, what are you complaining about the justice system for? Well, we're complaining because in the real world, we look at apples to apples. And this is apples to ping pong balls of cocaine, I guess, is what was said the other day.
Hunter's my heart. And Hunter's been through some tough times, but he's fighting. He's fighting. He's never given up. He's the most honorable, decent person I know.
Yeah, consorting with the former wife of your brother and this other woman and the phony artwork and the ping pong ball size of cocaine the other day. No, you're not going to push us around with you're not going to push back on us. There may be people listening that say, oh, my God, look at yourself, Dom. Give me a break here. Don't you have any compassion, any sympathy? No, not for this family. None. There is none to be given here. It's all ridiculous what's going on here. And comparing this to the Trump case, let's get to that. What's the difference? The difference is the Trump case, aside from the juries and even the judges. By the way, this judge in this case allowed the laptop to be introduced as evidentiary toward addiction, but did not allow salacious material to go on day after day with it, as Judge Marchand did with Stormy Daniels and others. Things that had nothing to do with anything that were put in to rub Trump in the dirt again. They didn't do that with Hunter Biden. And the charges were created by taking alleged federal crimes and manipulating them into all those state crimes. That's a big difference. That's what the difference is here. The judge here, as far as I can tell, by all accounts, was what you want in a judge. And the jury, despite all the pressure of being in Delaware, just saw this as clearly. This was a clear thing. It only turned on. Was Hunter Biden using drugs? Was he involved with drugs at that point? Now, if we want to change the law and remove some gun control restrictions on something like that, let's have that debate. You know, how would we want a person to answer that truthfully? What kind of metrics would we use for them to determine that they can't have a weapon because of drugs? I think reasonable people, Second Amendment people, would say, yeah, let's have that debate. But that's not what this is about. This is not about the Second Amendment and them wanting to give up. They've created more and more and more laws on this, so they have no ground to stand on. This was not a concocted case. Neither is the tax case. This guy has gotten away with stuff that the average person would not for years. All right, we'll bring you more, though, and I like what we've been able to expose here with Chuck Todd and the others, how somehow or another this undercuts Trump. They'll always find a way how it bank shots to knocking Trump out of business versus, I don't see damage to Joe Biden here. No, nobody said anything. I mean, it's his son, Hunter, who was the addict that was engaged in this stuff. So I'm not impugning Biden. I'm just glad that Hunter Biden is facing justice for once. I don't understand how we're supposed to ignore what this guy has been doing. All right, 855-839-1210. Dan, any other good ones on Twitter as far as what's that advice? Oh, Robert in Ben Salem. I'll give you this one first. Old school. All fathers, our fathers got the old school advice when they finished school. Get a job. Rent is due on the first of the month. Get out. What's yours?
I got David on Twitter. David Rossi, so it's an Italian last name, so I don't know what he means here, but he says, never trust an Italian. I'll cut your finger off for $1, sell it back to you for $1.50, Dom.
Oh, man. This guy Rossi has to be investigated. I don't know if that's a true Italian there. Yeah, we have to take that. Send some of the boys over to investigate that.
Now do you get it? On Twitter says, it's a dog-eat-dog world and you have milk-bone underwear. Get tough with your self-plan, invest, and wise up.
Milk-bone underwear. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Our next Talk Radio 1210 WPHT Politics and Pints. I'll be hosting #1 international best-selling author, Navy SEAL Jack Carr. That's right, June 25th. Tuesday night, June 25th at the Zlock Performing Arts Center, Bucks County Community College in Newtown, PA. Tickets are on sale now, and they will sell out. Go to 1210wpht.com and get your tickets. And I want to see you there. And if not, remember, I got a guy, and he's a Navy SEAL. See you then. I want to tell you about my friend, my dentist, and the master of dental implants, Dr. Mike Veneria at Veneria Dental. If you're getting ready for a special event, don't forget your smile, because it's going to be in all the pictures. Get your smile special occasion ready by making an appointment with Dr. Mike today. I've been telling you about Dr. Mike for years. My entire family goes to Dr. Veneria because the level of care and commitment to dental excellence that Dr. Mike and his staff delivers to every patient is unmatched. He's been delivering results that surpass expectations, and that has made him a top dentist in New Jersey for 10 consecutive years. So if you've been on the fence about getting that dental procedure done, give Dr. Veneria a call. I promise you won't be disappointed. With 2 locations to serve you in Cinnaminson and Woodbury, schedule your free implant consultation today for your perfect smile. Call 856-786-2020 or visit veneriadental.com.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
It'll be totally tubular at Chick-fil-A 1980s Retro Night on Thursday, July 11th at 6:05 when the Phils host the Dodgers. And kids 14 and under receive a Phillies bullpen cart. Secure your seats today at Phillies.com. 2 of the NL's best will battle it out when the Dodgers visit CBP on Tuesday, July 9th at 6:40, Wednesday, July 10th at 7:05, and Thursday, July 11th at 6:05. Order tickets now at Phillies.com.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices, plus an additional $1,000 Costco discount on all new Cherry Hill Volvos. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become a valued part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krupnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
Why shop at Gerhardt's Appliances? Since 1945, we've been the local appliance store known for our package deals, exclusive rebates, and personalized customer service. We have laundry pairs starting at $8.99, 4-piece stainless steel kitchen packages from $14.99, and free local shipping over $3.99. We service what we sell. We give back to our community and yours. So shop small and save big. Gerhardt's Appliances, the heart of Philly's kitchens for over 75 years.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, it is Dom time. Around 1:30, we're going to talk with candidate for Bob Casey Jr.'s seat, Dave McCormick, and Joni Ernst, the senator from Iowa, both in town. Casey Jr. just recently, Tin Ear Casey, put out this thing saying we're overdoing it when it comes to all these concerns about women's sports and people who are transgender. Really? People across Pennsylvania, I saw the document. I told you about it. But if they see that, I'd like to, be out there in rural Pennsylvania. How do you think that? Bob Casey thinks it's fine. I don't think so. All right, one other thing. I mentioned that the mayor, Mayor Parker, who I usually, on any number of things, what she's doing to clean up the city. Kensington, we're going to have the police chief on, I hope, in the near future. Next week, they start cracking down on actually drug dealing big time. So they want to put speed cameras on Broad Street. Dan, they say that the Roosevelt Boulevard speed cameras / red light cameras are working, but there's a problem. More than 34,900 violations were not enforced from March 2022 to February 2023, per the most recent report on the cameras. Want to guess the reason why they were not enforced?
Why?
They could not view the license plate. So we're gonna go after all these people, right? Bothering them with more nonsense, more stuff, etc. And yet at the same time, We have people routinely driving around the city without a license plate, with the phony tags or something that obscures it in some way, shape, and form, all kinds of devices where people cannot view the license plate. This is the problem right there. Why should everyone else get ticketed? Why are we going to go through all this now? We've been through this before with the red light cameras, et cetera. Why are we going to do that when you have 34,000 that are obscured, that you can't get a look at what they're doing? Why go down that path? 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Unbelievable. 34,000 violations. Those are $100 each. So let's multiply that out. What's that, about 3.4 million roughly? Why? They can do it. Can't stop them. Driving equity law. All right, let's go to Brian in Philly. Brian's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Dom. How are you?
Good.
Just on the Hunter Joe Biden thing. Isn't it starting to look like that they let him get convicted on this so that Joe can come out and say, I had to put family in front of country and pardon him, and then that gets Joe off the hook on the pending tax case in the fall, and it makes an orderly space for the Democrats to put somebody else in there once they figure out what to do with Kamala?
Brian, look, I could be completely wrong on this, but I don't believe the world works that way. You're not going to move past Kamala Harris. She's not going anywhere, A. And B, to go through all these types of things just so Joe Biden's, I know it defies logic, but Joe Biden should have resigned, never run for the second term. He was already cognitively, it's only November, it's not that many months ago. He couldn't do it at that point. He couldn't do it when he started, pretty much. So I still don't see how you're going to get Biden out of the race.
I don't know. I think they let him run for the second term because they probably, when he said no, you know, they know where all the skeletons are. Okay, you want to run? We'll just force you out of the race. I mean, they know where all this shit is.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Thanks here. I don't know. Again, I'm a contrarian on that. I guess it's this parlor game of Biden getting out. I want Biden to stay in. I think Biden is eminently beatable. You know, I don't see, unless you think that you're going to get past Kamala Harris in some way, shape, or form, and if Michelle Obama is going to get into the race, then I would agree. Then I don't think Biden can withstand that. But there's no indication. You got to understand, if Michelle Obama were making a move here, the Obamas in some way, shape, or form, putting it out there, we would hear it. They would want you to hear it. You'd be hearing it a lot more. They would have stopped them before now to give her a better chance. They wouldn't wait to the convention. I know it's shocking. Well, you see him last night at Juneteenth to see this, but it's a weird thing. They want to stay. They don't want to leave. And you're not going to get past Kamala Harris. It's just, Dan, you're still on that pizza, though. The last guy reaffirmed you. He added some stuff to it.
I think we're discrediting the DNC a little bit if we don't think they're smart enough to realize that they have absolutely no shot in November.
Well, I don't think that's the case. I think Biden's still their best shot. Who's the better shot here? Other than Michelle Obama, which we don't see anything like that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
The person I brought up the other day, I mean, I think she would do really well with suburban women, which is a thing that I think Trump is winning right now because of Biden's incompetency. Someone like Stacey Abrams, who's a nobody on the national level right now, but if they brought somebody in that they can try to sell as a competent and a very humble individual, which she's not because we know her deeply. But if they can sell that to the general populace, I do think they'd have a much better shot than running a guy who's bumbling out there on Juneteenth like Joe Biden.
Well, if we can't beat Stacey Abrams, she couldn't beat that guy Kemp in Georgia when Georgia was going her way. Now,
there are so many people out there when you ask them, "What are your thoughts on politics?" They just respond, "I want normalcy again."
Right.
And if they can present someone like Stacey Abrams or Gavin Newsom as that path to, quote, normalcy, then it screws Donald Trump.
Okay.
Which we know he is the path to normalcy, but that's not what they're going to sell.
All right, I got you. But my point is, you're still going to have to jump past then Kamala Harris. And I just think the mantra of the Democrat Party is not going to allow that.
What I respond to you there, though, is Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
You know, if they have a Hillary Clinton in mind, it didn't matter what Bernie Sanders thought, wanted, or did, or how he sold himself to an audience. They got their own person in there.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders is a progressive, but he's a white guy.
Yeah, but I mean, they wanted Hillary to run against Trump, so they shoved Bernie out of the way and put Hillary in there. You don't think they shoved Kamala right out of the way and put someone they want in there?
Okay, I'm still sticking on that part of the bet. I think the DEI every second is what they talk about and live. Clyburn would be the decider there. If it's Michelle Obama, then yeah. This is fun, though. This is going to go forward. I could be the one come August going, oh, my God, why didn't I see this? But reality tells me they don't want to give it up. Joe Biden, and there's this whole group of people in the White House that we played you last night, Biden at Juneteenth. They have untrammeled power in the White House right now that they're never going to get with anybody else. They're going to fight like hell to stay there, too. And that means keep Biden in there. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Don't forget the side question. Hit us with your advice to that graduate.
Also, good question on Twitter. Did they get the date wrong for Juneteenth? Like, why'd they have that event yesterday when it's on the 19th?
Probably something to do with he's got to take the weekend off. I would guess it has something to do with their scheduling.
Like, they can do it on the 19th.
Right, their fundraising and all that stuff. That's the only thing I could think of. Right. Why wouldn't they do it on Wednesday, which is the national holiday? I don't know. The Hunter Biden trial? God knows. Hey, June is Men's Health Month. With Rescue Natural Supplements, life is busy. It can be hard to focus on health. Thankfully, Rescue Men's Health Supplements have the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that provide men with what they need. Rescue Supplements can help boost testosterone, promote a healthy prostate, as well as support energy and vitality for an active life. And for the month of June, when you buy one of their Men's Health single bottles, you'll get a second one totally free. Just use the code STRENGTH for the buy one, get one offer. To order, call a rescue product consultant at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483, or shop online by visiting res-q.com, res-q.com. Discover the amazing benefits of Rescue Natural Male, Prime RX, Super Prostate, and more. Again, use the code STRENGTH for the buy one, get one free offer on Rescue Men's Health Products. Shop res-q.com and do it today.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
This is the best time of the year for being outdoors, but not if your knees, shoulders, back, or hips are hurting you. Hey, Dawn Stansland here. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call my friends at QC Kinetics today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your body's own ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. So, you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move again, play frisbee on the beach, pain-free. Under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics has enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. Call now. QC Kinetics 215-999-3000, 215-999-3000. Get a free consultation. 215-999-3000. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Listen to Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sunday mornings at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Learn about investing, tax strategies, and more. Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sunday mornings at 9.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
A cool and pleasant air mass remains in place across the Delaware Valley today. It'll be partly sunny with a high temperature below average at 76. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 62 for the city, cooler in the suburbs, and a warmer day on Wednesday, mixture of sun and clouds with a high 82.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time. We got two potential senators. Well, one is Senator Joni Ernst from Iowa, which is always a bellwether of what's happening, will be with us, and candidate for Senate in the race that could determine who controls the U.S. Senate, which is all important. Dave McCormick with us. They're both in the area here for a rally, other events. Let's go to Dave McCormick first. Hey, Dave, welcome back. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for bringing Senator Ernst with you.
Oh, I'm so glad to have her with us today in Pennsylvania. We got a busy schedule, but it's all focused on taking back the country and getting a Republican majority. And I think everybody recognizes Pennsylvania is so critical to the future of the country. And we're talking about how to shake up Washington, and the senator's got a great reputation for doing that, fiscal conservatism, and how to get our economy back on track and get inflation in check, and how to secure the border, all things which Joe Biden has been a disaster on, and Bob Casey's voted with him 99% of the time. So I'm so glad to have her here. We're friends, and it's a great opportunity to really have one of our most prominent leaders in the country here in Pennsylvania.
Dave, one of the things that I think is a tell if it gets out there widely enough, and we've tried to talk about it, I know you've mentioned it, the Casey name, it's starting to fade a little bit. I mean, that's the only thing the guy has. Nice enough guy, but that's what he has. I don't think the Caseyites still out there are going to think the father would put out what the son put out, saying we're overdoing it when we talk about males in female sports and what's going on. That is a real error. I don't get the audience that Casey thinks he's playing to there.
Absolutely. What's happened is that over time, in 18 years in the Senate, Bob Casey has gotten out of step with Pennsylvanians. So whether it's his position of advocating biological males being able to compete against biological females, I've got 6 daughters. This is a critical point for me. Whether it's his weak position on Israel and his unwillingness to step up and say that Summer Lee is anti-Semitic and that pull back his endorsement, whether it's his position on a whole range of spending, whether it's his opposition to oil and gas development in Pennsylvania, he is out of step with Pennsylvania. And I think you're right. I think if Bob Casey Sr. were alive, he would not believe it. And as our Commonwealth has become more conservative and it's becoming increasingly red, Bob Casey has leaned into the progressive left. part of his party, and that's why he's out of touch. And I don't think the name can help him. I think he's voted 99% of the time with Joe Biden. He doesn't have anything to point to as success, and he's out of step with Pennsylvanians, and I think that's why I'm going to win in November.
Dave, where will you and Senator Ernst be for listeners who want to come and see you today?
Well, we're going to we're going to be in Northeast Philadelphia for the next two events. We're going to do an event at Academy Road, 9130, Kansas Revolt Fest for a discussion about shaking up government. Then we're going to go to Bucks County, Doylestown, and we're going to have three events in Doylestown. We're going to have a Bucks County GOP grassroots event at the GOP headquarters. We're going to stop by and have some refreshments at Chambers, a good bar in Doylestown, and then we're going to go to a final reception at Ventresca.
Whoa, wait a minute. You got my attention. Wait a minute. Ventresca, Dave. Come on now. I didn't know you were a Ventresca guy dressing. My God, the suits, the whole thing. Oh, yes.
The Ventrescas are hosting, so we're going to have a great event there. And I'm glad to have the senator with me, and people are excited to see her, and so they're coming out.
Absolutely. By the way, is Joni Ernst keeping the Diet Coke score that Dave McCormick goes through every day?
You know, we just got on the bus. She'll keep the count.
Dom, I'm going to tell you, 2 so far.
Well, wait a minute. That's pretty good. So we have some days we've had them on. Go ahead.
Well, but I've only been with Dave about an hour and a half.
Make sure there's a lot of restroom stops. That's a lot of
for 22 today.
Yeah, I think that's on track for at least double figures. By the way, did you, Senator Ernst with us, did you play in the congressional game last night?
Hey, that's tomorrow night.
Oh,
Dom.
tomorrow night.
So, yes, there are two of us senators that play congressional baseball. It's Eric Schmidt of Missouri, and I let me clarify, 2 Republican senators that play. And I use the term very loosely when I say that I play baseball. I'm actually there for comedic relief, but I have a lot of fun with the fellas, and we're going to take the field tomorrow night. This will be our 4th win, I am predicting, against the Democrats in Washington, D.C., and not coincidentally, this is my 4th year playing on congressional baseball.
Ah, there you go. Who is the number 1 pitcher for the congressional Republicans?
We will start off with Congressman Greg Steube of Florida. Steube is a phenomenal pitcher. And then
sounds like a ringer. Okay, yes.
Oh, man, he is good. And then we have also got another fabulous pitcher, and it is August Pfluger, congressman from Texas. And let me tell you, those boys, they have arms. So look out, Democrats.
All right, that sounds good. Now, you are noted in leadership as someone, as Dave McCormick just said, who wants to shake things up, particularly the unbelievable spending. What I wanted to know from you, though, the contrast that Dave's trying to make, as you know, for listeners, Bob Casey is the one that put into Joe Biden's mouth and ears shrinkflation and Snickers bars and all that. How do we get the baked-in inflation in an efficient way so that Americans can go back to some normalcy? What are the key things to contrast versus what the Democrats are saying is more of the same?
Oh, my gosh. You know, it starts very simply. Stop spending unnecessary money. So I'm going to give you one example, and it is President Biden's student loan debt repayment. Let's stop right there. So I'm from Iowa. I was blessed to go to a 4-year institution. I went to Iowa State University. My little brother, he didn't have that opportunity. He went straight into the workforce. So now you are telling me, President Joe Biden, that my brother, who is a union laborer on the railroad, that he is now paying off the debt of someone that is probably receiving a 6-figure salary on Wall Street. Is that fair that my brother, who didn't have that opportunity, is paying off somebody else's student loan?
Yeah, exactly. Now you are
spending money that don't have to.
You're also the ranking member on the Senate Small Business Committee. And when you look at, again, Bob Casey, I've been around a lot. I think still a nice guy, and you probably think that also. But no experience outside just being the person who was lucky to have Bob Casey, the last good Democrat in Pennsylvania anyhow, as the dad. What would a McCormick bring to that with his business background?
Well, again, it's the shakeup, and it's what Dave just talked about. We've got to shake Washington, D.C. up. Complacency has no place in Washington, D.C. Our economy has shifted under President Joe Biden. Our small businesses are suffering, and I see this not only in my home state of Iowa, but I hear about it as the ranking member on small business. All of those regulations that President Biden has pumped out and that other senators like Senator Casey have supported have cost our small businesses over $400 billion in regulatory costs. This is creating havoc with our small mom and pop shops, and we've got to stop it. Dave is going to come in and bring some common sense into the Senate. We really need to get back to supporting our small businesses, creating an opportunity to grow. Whether you are a big business, a small business, we need to see a stronger economy. And Dave, with his business background, that's exactly what he is going to take to the United States Senate in Washington, D.C.
Senator, thank you. Thanks for your leadership, too, and thanks for your commentary on the Biden administration, both directly and indirectly, if you know what I mean. Thank you.
You betcha. Thanks so much for the time today.
And Dave McCormick, thank you, Dave. Again, you'll be in Northeast Philadelphia. Then you'll be in various places in Doylestown tonight and Ventresca.
Yes, sir. And if people want to find out more about me, it's DaveMcCormickPA.com. And Dom, it's always great to be on your show. Thank you for having us, and have a great day.
Thank you guys very much, Dave McCormick and Senator Joni Ernst. Republicans, I think is it tomorrow night, next night? Are
tomorrow night.
Yeah, favored substantially here. I don't know who pitches for the Democrats. God only knows what it must be like. They're running AOC out there?
She's not on the team, Dom.
Does any member of the squad play baseball? I can't imagine.
I am looking at the team here. I don't see any members of the squad, no.
Any local Dan, by the way, so I don't forget, because I have
Luzio is a local.
I want to take a shot at a couple of Republicans, Dan, and they're welcome to call you anytime and come on. We told listeners that yesterday, if you're in the suburbs particularly, the Democrats forced through. It was 107 to 94 in the House. This huge spending bill, billions and billions and billions of dollars. They cut cyber charters. They don't want vouchers. How is it 107 to 94? Well, that means any number of Republicans, Dan, voted for them, voted to spend this money. Two of them are on notice. I don't know this guy, Tom Hogan. Joe Hogan, I'm sorry. He's a Democrat, Republican. Hogan? Yeah, Hulk Hogan's son is here in Bucks County, Joe Hogan. And Casey Tomlinson, I believe she's the daughter of another.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yes, of another Republican that was out there in the suburbs forever that was suspect. Either one can call in and tell us.
Not LaDainian.
Because your vote is not hidden here on the Dom Giordano show. These two Republicans, they're the only two local I could find. I believe 7 of them either didn't show up or voted to spend your money to give Philadelphia $241 million more next year. And I think it's $1.5 billion over 7 years, more money to waste. Why would 2 Republicans in Bucks County sign off? Because they think they can get away with it. And because internally, somehow or another, the Democrats are going to give them something. So Dan's not going to track you down, Joe Hogan and Casey Tomlinson.
I can if you want me to.
No, let's see if they'll call in. I'll give them until tomorrow to say, yeah, I'd like to be on until this big mouth. He doesn't want school kids across Pennsylvania to have a good education. No, I want them to have vouchers, charter schools, and the like. You voted to give billions and billions more. This is the state Supreme Court decision. Republicans resist it. They're going to resist it in the Senate. You're the ones that are going to be taxed. The constituents of Hogan and Tomlinson out in Bucks County Why should they pay more for the idiocy that goes on here in Philadelphia, Norristown, Reading, places like that? Why should they have to pay for the William Penn School District more? Billions more. Why? Why would these two do it? Because they think they can get away with it. How many people knew that? I went back and I always look at the bill and I see 107 to 94 and I say to myself, how many Republicans voted with these Democrats? Some of them just didn't show up, which is abysmal. This is a big vote. And others voted with them. We'd love to hear from them. We'll give them a prime spot, Dan. Let them both come on at once. I want to hear why we're wrong. What is it that would make you waste our money like this? Really, if you're out there in Bucks County. I'm not sure where their districts are. I know they're in Bucks County, but I don't know the parameters. Why do that? 855-839-1210. Wait a minute. Bill Pascrell, I thought it was Parcells, is the coach of the Democrats.
No, Pascrell.
Oh, he's one of the most obnoxious Democrats. So that guy,
play baseball, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I'd like to see the rules, Dan, at the beginning of the game with this guy when they come out. And there might be a rhubarb. Who's the umpire? That's what I want.
I don't know. Linda Sanchez is a co-coach, though, from California.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this thing, man. I'm going to be tuning in and drinking some beers, making some bets. Jaron Moskowitz playing in it.
Yeah, Joni Ernst in it.
Will there be any beanballs?
I don't know, but the Rand Paul was pretty good. He played. I remember that because he was at the practice when, sadly, people got shot at. Steve Scalise and others by a Bernie Sanders advocate.
You think Byron Donalds is good?
I don't see that. No.
Really?
No, I don't.
No?
I don't see him covering a lot of territory.
I can see him being a power hitter, just knocking one straight out of the park.
Yeah, he might, but I don't see what position. He's a designated hitter. You that guy covering a lot of territory? I don't
How
see
great
it.
would it be if Byron Donalds came out with a Trump-decorated bat and hit a home run with it?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Wesley Hunt. I see him more, Dan, as somebody.
Not playing.
Yeah.
Not playing.
They're not playing.
No.
No cognac.
Rich McCormick is, though. He's one of the ones that jumped out of the plane for D-Day.
And he's the one that really went after Merrick Garland, I think, last week. Okay. No, Fauci. He's the one that went after Fauci.
There is a Bean playing ball, Aaron Bean.
Okay. I don't see too many locals in this game. 855-839-1210. If you know either one of those representatives, we'd like to know, why would you vote with Democrats? I mean, the burden's on you. Billions of dollars are involved. They don't even know how many billions they're asking for because they got that Supreme Court decision that said these kids in school districts like Philadelphia are not learning because not enough money is being spent. It's up to you to spend it out in the suburbs. That's where the money is. They're coming after you. Why would two of them vote for it? Under what grounds? Do they really believe that that is the secret to it, or that the Norristown's even a worse school district, I think? 855-839-1210.
Cleaning up some things?
Yes.
Michael says, because we asked why is the Juneteenth celebration for Biden this past yesterday, he says he's in Italy next week for G7. That's why, probably. And then also, CABS has a great nickname for Bob Casey.
And that is?
Cicada Casey. You only see him once every 6 years.
God, he is a very nice guy, though, Dan. I've been around him, and I got to say that. But you talk about living off the father, who was the last moderate Democrat. They wouldn't even let talk about abortion. And he told me his father would be proud when he supported Obama on abortion versus, I guess it was McCain at that point. And the reason being, Obama would give women more stuff, they wouldn't get abortions. How did that work out? Okay, the NBA Finals are here, and FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, is giving you the chance to win alongside the champions. Because right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets with a winning $5 bet. That's $200 to use on same-game parlays, live bets, and so much more. There's no better place to bet on all the finals action than America's #1 sportsbook. I would take the Celtics here. I'm not sure of the spread or whatever, Dan. I would take them in this, though, on any live bet you bring up. They're going to win this, maybe relatively easily. Just go to FanDuel.com/Dom to get started. Take a shot at an extra $200. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get slimmer for this summer without any shots. NJ Diet is nearly twice as fast as weight loss injections and without any of those nasty side effects. You will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days, contractually guaranteed. NJ Diet uses your hair and saliva along with scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements to get you to shed that fat quickly. Then, NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help you keep the weight off. You are fully monitored the entire time, and you even get the doctor's personal email and phone number. Locations close by in Cherry Hill, King of Prussia, Princeton, and Newark, Delaware, or NJ Diet is available from home with live online video consultations. Lose the weight the natural way, quickly and safely. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or schedule your consult today at njdiet.com. Get slimmer for the summer and without any shots. That's njdiet.com to lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. Go to njdiet.com and lose the weight for good.
There's nothing quite like local. Local is your weekly farmer's market or homemade strawberry ice cream. It's live music on the corner, yoga in the park, and a chance to try something new. That's why AARP is local, right here in our community, offering free events and enriching experiences that can help with finances, family, and fun. Join AARP Philadelphia on June 25th for a free virtual floral arrangement session with Longwood Gardens. Learn more at aarp.org/local.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's stand time
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
with Dom.
That's right. It's that time of the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for a short Dan Time with Dom today because, Dom, I'm just curious. Did you happen to shop in Lindenwold, New Jersey within the past couple of days and stop and buy a lottery ticket? Because if so, you might be a winner of $233 million and the Powerball jackpot. And I bring it up, Dom, because I'm curious. If you won, would you tell people? Would you keep that a secret?
Probably keep it a secret.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you won?
Yeah. We're waiting for that.
So happy to
until I announce my run for presidency. I don't know. $233 million doesn't seem to go a long way today, though. I might need 3 or 4 more times that.
Oh, okay. I'll take 100, 200,000 maybe, you know?
Yes.
You know what, though? Great guest coming up, Julie Kelly, so I'm going to step aside and let you set that up, Dom.
President Biden, Dan, I don't know if there's any sound out there or this is coming up, speaks on guns after the Hunter verdict. Yeah, I want to hear any moment. Okay. I want to hear what he says about this because, look, I think reasonable people listening now say, hey, we could take a look at this. Was this overkill, meaning all these forms and all these things? But if that's the case, why do people like Biden continue to want more gun laws? More and more and more of this. So you got to live with it. All right, Julie Kelly is an all-time great researcher. And on her Substack, she had this piece up with another researcher. She's up next. The Silent Insurrection, General Milley's hand on January 6th. New information coming out about General Milley And did he really, I'm going to ask her, really believe he didn't want the National Guard because Trump would use them in kind of a Reichstag thing, African-American males from D.C., to overthrow the government? Really? That's what it appears to be. And Nancy Pelosi's involvement in it will get both Dom's Money Melody and your calls, 855-839-1210.
Crash Proof Retirement records all financial meetings. All promises made in recorded financial meetings become legally binding between Crash Proof Retirement and the investing client. Crash Proof Retirement provides all of their clients with a certificate of authenticity, further documenting that recording financial meetings brings fiduciary responsibility to the highest level.
I'm Jack Gunning from Bluebell, Pennsylvania. I don't know whether anybody can offer you the security that Crash Proof Retirement does. I have a certificate that tells me they're a fiduciary. Everything is recorded and they have your best interest at heart. That certificate is 100% documentation that you know what they're saying is 100% correct. Other companies don't have this guarantee. This certificate means an awful lot for me, and it should mean an awful lot for you.
Certify your retirement future. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Downingtown Country Club, July 23rd. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
My dad loves Philly sports, and I need a Father's Day gift.
Tickets to see Joe Conklin are the perfect Father's Day gift.
Oh my goodness, it was absolutely wonderful. All the voices and the singing.
And just seeing my dad, seeing the look on my dad's face.
Just the mix of the comedy and the singing. You never knew which way they were going to go with it.
See Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic Academy in North Wildwood, Saturday, June 29. And at the Ocean City Music Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey on Saturday, July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
There's no need to wait. The time is always right at Colonial Hyundai. Hi, it's John Ashdale, the Cars Are. Today's the best day to buy a new car at Colonial. We have over 200 vehicles in stock. New Palisades, Konas, Tucsons, and the exciting EVs that have taken the world by storm, the Ioniq 5 and 6. We understand that everyone's needs, budgets, and challenges are different. But here at Colonial, we take the stress out of buying a new car. Big incentives, like $6,500 for your trade, guaranteed, no matter the condition. The best financing in the business, no matter your credit, with rates as low as 0%. Plus, we streamline the buying process so you can be in and out of our dealership in no time without any unnecessary hassle or waiting. So why wait? Shop us online 24/7 at colonialhyundai.com or visit us on Lincoln Highway in Downingtown. Colonial Hyundai, the faster, easier, better way to buy a Hyundai.
0% financing applies on select 2024 new Hyundai models. $6,500 for your trade, not available on EVs. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for more details.
Get ready to hit it out of the park every time you fire up the grill this summer with Hatfield. Swing into action with Hatfield's variety of marinated pork, ground pork and sausage, ham, bacon, and your favorite Hatfield Phillies Franks. With over 24 distinct flavors that can be ready in minutes, Hatfield pork is food you'll feel good about serving. From home or at the ballpark, find your flavor with Hatfield, the official pork provider of the Phillies. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and to find a retailer near you.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in. I get, Dan, I put it a little bit smarter than the room sentiment, though. I'm going to ask Julie Kelly, great researcher, on with us to talk this article at her Substack, The Silent Insurrection, General Milley's Hand on January 6th. The idea that this is a show trial to take our eye off the ball with Hunter Biden. I don't see them going to that kind of trouble. Maybe I could be convinced. Julie Kelly has been as good as anybody in the world on January 6th on all these trials, the documents that are going on, and anything that involves just relentless and thorough and a great eye for things that are breaking. We'll give you where to follow Julie Kelly. You've heard her with me, with Rich, I know, over the course of the last couple of years. Let's go to Julie here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Julie, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Before we get to this General Milley piece, which is great, give us your sense of the Hunter Biden trial. What are the initial thoughts that intrigue you?
For having me on, Dom. I mean, I think that we all know that this is the least of which crimes Hunter Biden and the Biden family should have been charged with and prosecuted for. He successfully escaped, his entire family, serious criminal activity that put the country at risk as he was swooping up millions of dollars using his father's last name and with his father's consent and knowledge, countries like Ukraine, China, Mexico, Russia, etc. So, I mean, I guess it's fine, but you know what, Tom, this is going to give the defenders of the DOJ and Merrick Garland fodder to say, see, it doesn't matter if your last name is Biden or Trump. The American justice system works. No one is above the law. And, you know, even if you're the president's son, you could still be convicted. So I think it's a way that they are going to use to diminish legitimate accusations about a politicized, weaponized DOJ against Trump and his supporters.
Yeah, I would agree. That's what they're going to try to do, and we know the home court advantage. That's why we have people like you out there in talk radio, though, that hopefully can push back and differentiate the made-up stuff that Trump was tried with versus the legitimate, straightforward stuff that Hunter Biden was charged with. It also, though, gets into a great issue. President Biden's going to speak about guns after the verdict. That's the side that wants all these. If this is a case of overregulation, so what? He falsified the paper. Well, then they're the ones that want to put 20,000 more new laws out there.
And it's important to remember, too, this case was never supposed to go to trial. This was a sweetheart plea agreement between the DOJ and Hunter Biden's legal team that was blown up by a judge in Delaware.
Yes.
Otherwise, this never would have gone to trial, and we never would have seen all of this information. And, Dom, I think most people would agree the most outrageous aspect is the same FBI that refused to investigate the contents of the laptop, that had the laptop as of December of 2019, concealed its contents. Christopher Wray going along, suggesting in 2020 that the Russians were trying to interfere in the 2020 election, playing along with the 51 intelligence officials and others, including Joe Biden, saying the laptop was the product of a Russian disinformation campaign. The same FBI taking the stand to finally say that it is not Russian disinformation, that the contents were legitimate and authentic, and how much what they did in 2020, censoring the laptop as people were voting, really was just such another egregious example of the FBI and the media interfering in a fair presidential election, which, of course, 2020 was not.
I meant to give at the top here, Julie Kelly, juliekelly.substack.com or Declassified Live or at Julie_Kelly2, the number 2, on Twitter or on X, all over the place. So this new report, and I'm not sure, is Haley McLean a colleague or another researcher at your Substack, Julie? Okay.
She's a researcher. Yeah, she's my researcher.
Well, this is really thorough stuff. And the biggest breakdown with General Milley, other than the number of people he was consorting with here, is just the craziness. And we've had on people when the guy who headed up the National Guard, the colonel, said his theory was that Milley wasn't going to let the National Guard do anything. The researcher writes this for you, too, because of a potential Reichstag moment. And the colonel testified, a bunch of black men from D.C. are going to overthrow the government for President Trump. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I really urge people, and in my piece, I know that we included those clips, and that's Earl Matthews.
Yes.
You're referring to the general counsel for the D.C. National Guard. And he and other top officials testified before the House Administration Committee a few months ago. And it was kind of overlooked, their testimony, but it was mind-blowing stuff, and basically accused Milley of being in cahoots or giving direction to Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy, who apparently some say is a Milley loyalist, or Milley was a mentor of his. They changed the chain of command authority process before January 6th as to who had the final say to deploy the National Guard. That individual was Ryan McCarthy. However, William Walker, the general of the D.C. National Guard, and his associates, including Earl Matthews, could not reach Ryan McCarthy to get final authorization. Ryan McCarthy told the January 6th committee that he gave that authorization around 3 o'clock that day. That's not true. Then I guess apparently he had to change his testimony or revise it, say he thought he gave it through a subordinate. Of course, he didn't. But he was unreachable. And the question is why? Also, why was he with D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser? The D.C. Metro Police were not the lead agency for January 6th, not even the lead law enforcement. That was Capitol Police. Why was he prepping a press conference with D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, a hardcore Democrat, to do what while he's not answering his phone as General Walker, who said he would get fired? He would take the risk of being fired to deploy the National Guard as things were escalating. And finally, after 5 o'clock, got the okay from Ryan McCarthy.
Yeah, and we have Nancy Pelosi. We played it earlier today, Julie, somewhat taking responsibility in a mangled phone conversation. There's a video of it that was out there. Her daughter apparently had it, and nobody shared it until now. And, of course, the Cheney Committee, let's call them that, the January 6th Committee, was not interested in tracking this down.
Correct. So this was Nancy Pelosi's daughter, Alexandra, a filmmaker who oddly just happened to be filming her mother that entire historic day, including before, you'll recall, Dom, and I'm sure your listeners remember, the clip that was shown where Nancy Pelosi says she hopes that he comes to the Capitol. She'll have him arrested for trespassing, threatens to punch him in the face if he showed up at the Capitol, like she owns the U.S. Capitol building and grounds. So now we're seeing this comment where she allegedly is trying to take responsibility. Of course, it was her responsibility. It was Capitol Police's responsibility. But her team refused to deploy the National Guard, told the U.S. Capitol Police Chief Steve Sund for days. And Steve Sund actually tweeted this yesterday, and he does not do a lot of social media. And he said, basically, this is outrageous. Your team denied me access to National Guard's troops for days and including for hours on the day of January 6th. So this is clearly spin, damage control. Nancy Pelosi never has accepted responsibility in any way, shape, or form for what happened on January 6th. And keep in mind, too, Dom, all of her records, Benny Thompson, the chairman of the committee, said were off limits. We have not seen a single record from her office, email, communication, anything related to what she knew, what she was doing before January 6th, and, of course, on that day as well.
We're talking with Julie Kelly, juliekelly.substack.com or Declassified Live or Julie_Kelly2 on Twitter. So, Julie, here's a broad question for you because I follow you all over the place. I don't know how you found enough. Maybe that's why you have a great researcher working with you to help with this. What's the next thing, say, in the next few weeks that we should be looking toward, the next diversion, the next issue that's going to develop here that you're looking at?
Well, in terms of something I've been waiting for a few years, that is the Department of Justice Inspector General Michael Horowitz, his investigation into DOJ and FBI's conduct and or role in January 6th. We are now almost 3.5 years removed from January 6th. Why is this report being held up? It should have been published. The other agencies have long ago published their internal investigations. We don't know why. I suspect why. I think Michael Horowitz, for the most part, is a stand-up guy, and my suspicion is that he is going to reveal more evidence about confidential human sources, informants, and perhaps even FBI undercover agents. We know informants were embedded in these groups months before January 6th. This came out in the trials of the Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, et cetera. We know there were informants involved, but we still don't have a straight answer as to the extent. And that is something that I have been waiting to hear and read. So hopefully we will be getting that report very soon. But again, House Administration Committee Subchairman Barry Loudermilk continues to unravel the corruption of the J6 committee. Evidence that has been deleted. All of the videos were destroyed. The videos of the transcribed interviews destroyed. And now proof that Cassidy Hutchinson full out made up the story about what happened after Donald Trump left the ellipse, gave his speech, and was trying to go to the Capitol. Full out made it up in whole cloth, perjured herself under oath. And this is just sort of scratching the surface of what the Cheney-Pelosi committee did to mislead the American people and spin in their favor the events of January 6th.
You're talking about the allegation of the president trying to grab the wheel and struggling with the Secret Service, among other things.
That's correct. Cassidy Hutchinson, the first few times she was interviewed by the committee, never disclosed that. Then she got a new attorney. Then all of a sudden she made up that story. After she publicly testified to the American people in the summer of 2022, her lawyer gave the Congress a 15-page, it's called errata sheet, that clarified or made changes to her early testimony and making it sound like her revised testimony was the truth. Now we know, and Loudermilk's committee also revealed this as well, that the driver of the limousine or the Beast asked the committee if he could come in and testify and say exactly what happened to contradict her story, and they refused to have him come in and sit for an interview, even though others disputed her account, including Tony Ornato, who she claimed she had this conversation with. So hopefully there will be some repercussions, not just for Cassidy Hutchinson, but Liz Cheney, because she is the one responsible for getting Cassidy Hutchinson. The committee was completely blindsided by her testimony, putting her in front of the American people on nationally televised audience to make up lies about Donald Trump's behavior on January 6th.
Julie, thank you. What a day to have you on. Any day's good. JulieKelly.substack.com or Declassified Lied or Julie_Kelly2 on Twitter. Thank you, Julie, very much.
Thanks for having me on, Dom.
All right, Julie Kelly, nobody doing it better. And now with a researcher, the work is impeccable. Can you imagine General Milley? I mean, it's one thing. You can argue his role there, trying to undercut the president, but believing, that's what the theory was, well, he's going to use that National Guard. And the colonel was African-American, said, yeah, really, these African-American males from D.C. are going to help Trump stage a moment to overthrow the government there. All right, 855-839-1210. But right now, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
The money gone.
That is right. Today we're playing for a digital movie download for Shadowland starring Jon Voight. Haunted by nightmares of an assassination, a former president uncovers a conspiracy to discredit his legitimacy. Dan, what do you have today?
Yeah, Dom, coming up today at 2:30, we're going to be joined by Anthony Wolf. He's the drummer of Burning Sky, the ultimate Bad Company experience, and they're going to be playing Dom Day this year at Mulligan's, June 21st. We're going to have live music again, like we had with Real Diamond, but with Burning Sky this time, because Anthony, being a listener, reached out and wanted to, play. And he's an actor. He used to play the Great Sports Debate. as the house band there, and he'll be joining us live at Dom Day. But I'm going to base my question off of the band that he attributes, Bad Company, today. So, Dom, Bad Company is almost a supergroup that's a combination of multiple bands, including Mott the Hoople, Free, and one other band that I'm about to play. This band is a cult favorite. It's a prog rock band that, you know, you kind of have to have a certain taste for, a taste that I do indeed have, but not many do. So, Dom, I want to know the name of this band that features a bassist who left for Bad Company eventually. Dom, here is a clue. Who is the name of this band? It's an original song. We want to know the original band. Take a listen. You fan? So it took a certain taste, and I don't. It's the one that
what are the biggest hits, by the way, of Bad Company? I was trying to tell someone that the other day, Dan.
Feels Like Making Love's a big one, Dom. Yep. Yeah. You have Shooting Star, Can't Get Enough. Bad Company itself is the name of the song. That's a huge one. And along with a lot of Bad Company music, Anthony said he's been learning some Tom Jones songs.
Oh, yes.
And Friday the 21st at 12:15 on the phone, we'll have Don McLean, singer of American Pie. So I've asked him to learn some American Pie as well. And there'll be other things cycled in as well. But Mulligan's Dom Day, June 21st, you got to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun with these guys.
All right, get in. You could be the winner, 855-839-1210. What are we looking for again, Dan?
So right behind us, we have a very, very popular cult classic song by a very cult favorite band. The bassist of this band left and joined Bad Company, Dom. But I want to know the name of this band that you hear behind us playing an original song. What's the name of this band that the bassist left Bad Company for, Dom?
855-839-1210. Hit us with that. You could be a winner. Don't forget Dom Day on the 21st. Spectacular this year. Scott Presler coming to town. Oh, man. Good stuff. Jump in right now. Let's talk FanDuel for a moment. No, not FanDuel. How about if I tell you about... okay. All right. I'll go to break. We could tell you about Dr. Ben since I was just there. That's coming up. 855-839-1210.
Join Team Kale & Company once again this year for the Bend to Shore Bike Tour on Sunday, July 21st. From Philly to Atlantic City, you can do the ride or just donate to support the cause. Visit bendtoshore.org. That's shore.org. Let's show everyone how WPHT and Odyssey supports law enforcement. Bend to Shore is organized by Families Behind the Badge Children's Foundation. SBBCF provides financial relief for the families of fallen and injured first responders, and supports the Police Youth Alliance, which fosters a positive relationship between police and youth. Sponsored by Gelman Law. Need a criminal defense attorney or personal injury? Visit GelmanLawFirm.com.
How did your son or daughter do in school this year? These summer months is the time to make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Prepare your student for back to school now. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing for students to deal with many disorders like high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
I'm Philomena, founder of Kin Apparel here in Philly. I love my natural hair, but not what hoodies and hats were doing to it. So I made my own satin-lined hoodies and created a business in the process. I've got big dreams, and Chase for Business in Philly was like, all right, how do we get you there?
Get financial guidance from bankers in your community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Our lives aren't like they used to be. They're busier. Early morning Zooms, grabbing coffee to make that in-office meeting, getting to your kid's soccer game on time. Life is different, and so is advertising. To reach any audience, you need your message out there in all media, broadcast to streaming, on screens, and right to the ears of your customers. And that's what we do at Odyssey. Let's build a media campaign that targets the customers you know and want to reach more of, right here in our community. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Yo, Roy is Ford. What? You know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right, let's hear the clue today, and let's get a winner. All right, let's go to Steve in Collegeville on Talk Radio 1210. All right, Steve, what's your answer today?
Big Ken Crunching.
All right, Dan, you can't fool him. Nicely played. I'll put you on
Steve.
hold. Enjoy the John Voight film. What's John Voight's biggest role? I guess it's got to be
a father to Angelina Jolie.
No, Midnight Cowboy. He was a bigger star than Angelina Jolie after that, arguably.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I don't know after that, though, what the next biggest, I should know. Well, the Trump campaign, that's another big role.
Big one, yeah.
Yes. All right, Dan, any more on this?
Just a Bad Company. You'll hear their tribute band, Dom Giordano Day Mulligans, on Friday, June 21st. They'll come out. That's Burning Sky, a great tribute to Bad Company. And why I'm saying Bad Company is Boz Burrell, the bassist for Bad Company, comes from King Crimson, which you hear behind us. Congratulations on winning that movie pass.
By the way, conservative analyst, I've seen this guy, Dan, on CNN, Sir Michael Singleton, made the argument that I said would be reasonable coming out of this whole Hunter Biden thing, which is this constitutional? You know, this conviction, what happened here? But again, it is the law at this point. It was clear he violated it. Now, if you want to say, yeah, but, and when you take a look at Joe Biden's career, he's been one of the biggest infringers on the Second Amendment to this day. Now, apparently he's going to talk about guns today somehow or another and spin it into that. But the spin off Hunter Biden is clearly the empathy card, the card no one's above the law. Why doesn't Trump get that? And I wanted to morph it with what we led off with today. And this guy is a real threat. A huge threat in 2028, or even right now. Dan, we haven't talked about tagging this guy in. Listen to the great one, the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, talking about Trump, talking about Trump supporters, talking about conservatives in general. Why are they whining? This is the greatest country in history. Why are we whining about where the country is now? He even drops in a vulgarity here on national TV. Here's Josh Shapiro.
Look, I don't know how the conviction will ultimately play out. I know that the good people of Pennsylvania, they care a lot, whether you're in rural communities, urban communities, suburban communities, about, four basic things. They want good schools for their kids. They want safe communities. They want economic opportunities, and they want their freedoms to be protected. And you know what? I think they want to be led by someone who is honest and decent, someone who's actually on their side, like Joe Biden. And all they hear from Donald Trump is a whole bunch of whining about this country. And I think Donald Trump's got to quit whining, got to quit trying to divide us. I mean, consider this, Jen. We're producing more energy than ever before in this nation. We have the strongest economy in the world, and we are beating China for the first time in decades. More people went to work this morning in America than at any other time in our nation's history. So I got a message to Donald Trump and all his negativity and his whining. Stop talking America. This is the greatest country on earth, and it's time that we all start acting like it.
Well, he's learned, he's the master of one thing. You're on the side, your party, at least to anybody running down the concept of America, traditional America, you don't want to, this is what it comes down to. It's the Obama thing. You don't want to tweak it. Tweaking is what every generation is called to do to make America greater, to take the fundamental principles, but tweak them based upon where we are. You want to, as Obama said, transform it. America doesn't need to be transformed. In other words, Trump is about the greatness of America, which your party denies. And the thing that stands in their way the most that they hate is the Constitution. So on Dom Day in Wildwood on the 21st, I was looking up what happened on that day in history, and it's the day that the U.S. Constitution was finally ratified. You had to have 9 states. New Hampshire was the 9th out of the 13. They signed off on it on that day, officially making the U.S. Constitution ratified. That's what we celebrate, not your party. They don't celebrate that in the slightest. They want to pack the Supreme Court. They want to get rid of the Electoral College. Josh, come on the show. You know, we'll debate the Electoral College. I'm sure you have a lot to tell us about around that. But your party is not the party of whiners, constantly telling us that we need to spend more money on schools, more taxpayer money, that we need to have more open borders, that we need to defund the police. That's not the party of Josh Shapiro and Joe Biden. And if we notice, everyone, he left out inflation there, diminishing Americans, when he talked about economic opportunity. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. It's also the debut of the Ferris wheel. And Dan, if all goes according to plan, we're going to have a Ferris wheel interview for that day. I don't know if that's where you got the idea or not, with the mayor of Wildwood. Dan will be in one group, and I'll be in the other car with the mayor of Wildwood over the vistas of Wildwood doing a grand interview on the grand scope of things.
I was hoping to get like a Crazy Mouse roller coaster interview with your guys like heads flying back and forth trying to answer serious questions about the dredging on the beaches.
Yes. Also, the WNBA was started on that day, and we won Okinawa. Is that another? We defeated the Japanese on Okinawa.
Yep.
Well, Johnny Z, what drink will you come up? A Constitution drink.
And atop all of that on Britannica, it says, and it's Dom Giordano Day in Wildwood.
Aha! Yeah. There you go. Finally,
you get the headline spot for some reason.
Yes, Britannica has it right. I may bring with me the lamp that our buddy Roy of Batteries Plus Bulbs made out of the U.S. Constitution. We have it right there in the, you've seen it in the dining room.
It's very heavy,
The Constitution thing. Yeah, it's worth it for this day. You know? I wonder how many other things with the Democrats, what else stops them in there? It's the my favorite. Look, I realize the Electoral College arguably is not the number one thing we admire about the Constitution, right? But secretly, it's my number one. The genius of saying we're going to let small states have a say, but electorally their say will not be as big as the bigger states. That's genius. They don't want that. They don't want flyover country to have any say in this. They want to have the popular vote just to overwhelm you with a few big cities across the country. Oh, it's Prince William's birthday also. That's fine. Now, if it were Prince Harry, I'd have to say we have to call the whole thing off.
Will Kate make an appearance?
Yes. We're working on that behind the scenes. I'm just hoping the Tom Jones imitators are up to snuff, Earl and others. All right, get in. Give us that advice. What is it you would tell that high school or college graduate? We've had some great ones on Twitter. We need a couple more here. Dan, Robert in Ben Salem, he's killing me with this reference because it's true. Plus, it's one of my, I don't know if it's a top 10 film, but there are several lines from The Bronx Tale that are just, you know the line from The Bronx Tale, right? Now you just can't get out of here. I'm sure Jim will have that a little bit later. Okay, coming up, I'm coming to your calls, and we're going to talk with Anthony Wolf of Burning Sky, who will be the official band this year. We're always loving that. Dan went to great turmoil and expense in this, and so did Anthony. We'll tell you what his little issue is.
Yeah.
Ro asked me, was he going to be ready to play on Dom G Day?
Well, that's the thing. Is one of the first questions I had for him is when he told me this, I was like, well, can you drum?
Yeah. Oh, he's a drummer,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Could you imagine the bouncing? And
I may have to offer medical advice.
So what is the ailment that Anthony Wolf is facing?
Yes, what does Anthony Wolf have that he's sucking it up for Dom G Day? I was just at Dr. Bentz's today. Just a small thing, having a permanent tooth put in. And I'll tell you, I told him right away, you know when you get, Dan, if you've ever had a tooth put in and you have the temporary, then they put the real one in, it's always high. Meaning when you click up and down, it's high is where it hits, not this. Bang, the first time. Because we told you about the infrastructure that he has. John, who I talked some baseball with out there, is his artisan. But it's the 3D printer. It's all of that made that tooth to fit perfectly the first time they put it in this morning. Dr. Bentz, I heard him in the background, was getting ready to go into conference with a patient. They have a room there. Just a routine visit I asked him about. Could be a multifaceted process or a small thing. Dr. Bentz does something few dentists, if any, do. He sits down with you and creates a clear plan explaining it step by step. My friend, dentist, and prosthodontist, Dr. Bentz. So if you have any questions, if you've been putting off a dental problem, you really want to get that smile that you've always been wanting, now's the time to call Dr. Robert Bentz, the Bentz Dental Group. You will see the Bentz difference. Make that appointment today. Visit Bentz, B-E-N-T-Z, dentalgroup.com or call 610-272-6949. 610-272-6949.
A cool and pleasant air mass remains in place across the Delaware Valley today. It'll be partly sunny with a high temperature below average at 76. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 62 for the city, cooler in the suburbs, and a warmer day on Wednesday, mixture of sun and clouds with a high 82.
And paid for by AG Marketing Group. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue to shoulder those monthly payments any longer. If you need to eliminate your timeshare commitment, then you need to take down this number, 800-866-7061. We will safely and legally get rid of your timeshare payments forever, all with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't continue to let your timeshare be a financial burden to you and your loved ones. Call us now at 800-866-7061. The call is free. The consultation is free. Call 800-866-7061. That's 800-866-7061. Again, 800-866-7061.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. RAMP.com/250.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hugs from patients like Patrick. It's something QC Kinetics medical professionals experience every day.
I hugged them. You should hug somebody who does that for you. They gave me my life back, and I really didn't know where I was going to go because I was definitely afraid of having a knee replacement done.
No surgery, no downtime with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. They give patients relief from joint pain using their own healing properties to repair and restore damaged tissue. And the results? Well, that's why we see a lot of hugs at QC Kinetics.
Everything is back that I thought I was never going to be able to do again. I'm still smiling, and sometimes it gets emotional. I get a tear in my eye because of how I was before I went in there.
Those smiles and hugs never get old at QC Kinetics. It means patients are finally getting relief. And now, it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate for these amazing treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. That's 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
A cool and pleasant air mass remains in place across the Delaware Valley today. It'll be partly sunny with a high temperature below average at 76. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 62 for the city, cooler in the suburbs, and a warmer day on Wednesday, mixture of sun and clouds with a high 82.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
Of my yesterday.
All right, that's Anthony Wolf, drummer for Burning Sky, the ultimate band company experience. The BurningSkyBand.com is where you find him, and you're going to find him at Mulligan's just a week from this Friday.
I cannot wait for this.
As our Dom G Day band. And Anthony Wolf is also a P1, Dan.
Yeah?
I believe, based upon
what's
conversation.
a P1 for those that might be
are you a P1?
I think
How many
I am.
P1s do we know?
Yeah.
That's radio lingo for somebody who is a almost fanatical listener. That's how you get to be a P1. Let's go to Anthony Wolf. Anthony, welcome in. Thanks for accepting the generous bid from Dan here, and thanks for being a P1.
Oh, my God, you guys are crazy. Well, thank you for the offer, and we are really looking forward to it. Really psyched up about playing your day, and thank you for the great promo and everything. You guys are awesome, seriously.
Well, that's Dan's work. I can't say enough about it on it. So,
Dan's
Anthony,
great.
I hear you want to play Gone, Gone, Gone in honor of Joe Biden. That's going to be one of the big requests. Feel free to lead with that and play it during every break if you like.
Yeah, well, we have a really nice selection of songs for that day. And Dan, we have been working on the Tom Jones, and I hope
yes.
is it the Earl of Tykone going to come up and sing these songs?
See, Earl, I'm telling you, man.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, hold on one sec. Anthony, stay there. Earl,
okay.
are you actually willing to sing? Earl happens to be on hold right now. Are you willing to sing with Anthony, Earl?
Oh yeah, sure. I have a couple of songs that I can sing. I'll send you a list of songs that.
No. I want you to cover Tom Jones. I want to cover the whole Tom Jones.
Here.
Just it's unusual. That's not unusual. Whatever the song is.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So
like
Dan. Yeah. Okay. Dan gave us his requests, and the band is going to work on them, and I'm sure we're going to come up with at least one Tom Jones songs for you, and there was a couple others that we're working on. So I'm really looking forward to hearing you sing, Earl. And you never know, if you're good enough, you might become a member of Burning Sky. I'm just saying, not promising.
All right, and Don McLean is going to be trying out too, right, Dan?
Yeah, Don McLean's calling in at 12:15, Anthony. So we'll have some, but he's only on the phone. I mean, I wish he was there and he could sing with you.
That didn't work out.
Hey, Anthony, how you feeling yesterday? I tried reaching you a couple of times, and you called me back and you said you're suffering from something. How you doing?
Yeah, well, I'm doing okay. Matter of fact, when you mentioned I was an actor, I'm doing a little bit of acting right now.
But
I had kidney stones.
Kidney stones. Wait a minute here. Wow. You going to play through that, Anthony?
Yeah, well, wait to hear what happened. So the band was actually playing at 118 North last Thursday, and when I woke up on Tuesday, I had this. I mean, if anybody's had a kidney stone, I can't even describe the pain for you, and I won't because I don't want anybody to start doubling over. I woke up. I was going back and forth to the ER, the doctors, this, that. Thursday, the band had a show to do at 118 North, and being as crazy as I am, I went and played the show.
Oh,
and
God. Sign this man up,
you have
Dan.
no idea.
I admire that.
You have no idea. You have no
Every
idea.
time you hit that bass drum. Ugh.
Oh.
Well, Dan, you know what it was? Was that like we actually played with another band called The Launch, and they covered Queen, Boston, and Styx. And the thing was, we each had to play a 1 hour set. So we went on first, and while they were playing, I was walking the streets of Wayne, Pennsylvania, just trying to, because the pain, it was ungodly, you know, the pacing. But
Probably looked like a cowboy after he got off his horse.
So
you have no idea. So I actually went to the ER on Sunday, and then they said, "Look, this is your third time here. We're going to keep you." They put a stent in.
Okay.
And so far, I'm feeling okay. I'll definitely be able to play. There's no doubt about that.
All right.
Don't worry about that.
Might be wincing over there.
I'm sure Johnny has some medicinal spirits there too. Johnny Z. That will be helpful. So, Anthony, we're looking for. Thank you so much for doing this, bringing the band, your sound guy, etc. You are what makes this day to me spectacular. And again, the best place people can go to find out about you, theburningskyband.com, and we'll talk on a week from Friday.
Hey, Dom, can I just real fast? I just want to mention the other members of the band,
sure,
if it's okay.
Sure.
So because honestly, like, you know, it's almost like when you do your radio show, you got to have great people behind you in order to make the show work.
That's not
like,
true. That's not true. It's all the host.
Well, you're not. Well, what? Oh, Dan. All right,
that's not true. It's all showbiz.
Anthony, give all the people that deserve the credit the credit. Come on.
People want to know. People want to know that. Yeah, they want to believe that. Come on, Anthony. No, just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I understand. So if I didn't find these guys in the beginning, the band's like 2 years old, and they're really troopers. We all have the same, you know, idea and all going in a forward direction, which, as far as music, really, really makes it a lot easier for me to do what this band does. So first of all, we have the amazing Matt McGee. He's our lead vocalist, and boy, does he have a job, you know, to copy Paul Rogers. It's amazing. And we have on rhythm guitar Adrian DeMarco. On lead guitar, we have Mike Birnbaum. On keyboards, we have Michael Keane. And on the bass, we have our guy, we call him Billy the Beard. When you see him, you'll know why we call him Billy the Beard, but he plays he actually plays a 5-string fretless bass. Amazing. But that's it. So, you know, we're all about having fun and music, and we're going to make your day phenomenal. And we look forward to seeing the listeners. We'll have T-shirts. We have beer koozies and refrigerator magnets or whatever. And we're just really looking forward to the day. It's all about fun and music and
exactly
getting it, you know, having it.
Dan?
And one thing I want to underline from our conversations behind the scenes, Anthony, is that you are one hell of a musician, and all these guys are musicians, and it's not just Bad Company and the Burning Sky Band that you're involved with, but as you said, you play with other bands and such. So if someone wants to book you for a wedding or some kind of other big event, they can go to theburningskyband.com, and it can be either the Burning Sky Band or there's a lot of other things that you can put them in touch with as well, correct?
Yeah, positively. On the burningskyband.com is all my information, and I could be you know, you could call me for any or email me for any reason. My Facebook page, you know, that's attainable. All this information is attainable right on the burningsky.com, our website, and we also have a private group on Facebook. If people just want to come in and, you know, we chat with them and they find out where our shows are. If you want to go there on Facebook, it's Burning Sky, the ultimate Bad Company experience. Yeah, but all my info is right on the website. If anyone wants to contact me, feel free. Even if it doesn't have nothing to do with Bad Company, I'll talk to anybody.
Gotcha, Anthony. All right, we'll look forward to it. Get in great shape, and we'll see you on Friday the 21st.
Yeah, but thank you. I'm in pretty decent shape right now. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Anthony. Anthony Wolf, who's going to be a great entertainer that day. All right, before we do the lightning round, just to update you, Joe Biden now has been speaking for, and we'll bring you the sound tomorrow, attacking the gun industry. You know, they have immunity. Why do they have it? His son's the one that violated the law here, as it is. attacking the gun community and looking forward, he says, to celebrating 2 weeks from today the assault weapons ban, his words. And then he pivoted to say, why do you need these guns, the Kevlar thing and the deer, and crime is on the decrease. So why does America need so many guns? All right, this is, and there's a lot of applause and cheers on a day when his son violated, arguably, the father's life work and was convicted duly. We hear about the NRA and the gun industry. We'll have a lot more on that tomorrow because we got some good ones coming up. It is the Lightning Round next on Talk Radio 1210.
The good and bad with home improvement projects. The good, you save a buck or two. The bad.
Kevin, there's no hot water.
So you move on to the car.
Kevin, what's with the car?
Good news, you can recover from these.
Kevin!
Well, most all of them. But when it comes to your retirement, a mistake can be devastating. Call Joe Yakovich at JML Financial Group. He's been helping folks prepare for retirement for over 30 years. That's why he's able to correct your do-it-yourself problems before they're problems. Get your complimentary assessment of where you are now and look at some of the retirement boxes you haven't even thought of.
Kevin!
You can't YouTube your retirement. Call Joe Yakovich at 856-925-6674 or visit jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
If it's been a minute since you've considered an Infiniti, now's the time to check out the Bush Auto Group. At Bush Infiniti of Westchester, we have exceptional offers just for you. Enjoy rates as low as 4.9% for 36 months on Infiniti certified pre-owned vehicles. Plus, every new Infiniti comes with 3 years free maintenance. Don't wait. Visit in-store today at Bush Infiniti of Westchester or online at infinityofwestchester.com. Philly rides with us.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions.
Attention, anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, or other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-721-4643. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-721-4643 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, or other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-721-4643. 800-721-4643. 800-721-4643.
Borgata's Dash for Cash giveaway is here. This May and June, you could win a share of $1.3 million in prizes, including 2 new Cadillac Lyric SUVs or one of 4 new Voyager golf carts. Play to earn entries for 2 grand prize drawings held Saturday, May 25th and June 29th. The Dash for Cash giveaway, only at Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. For details, visit theborgata.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
Hey, Paoli, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, thank God for that, Dan, the lightning round. After seeing Joe Biden, Kevlar vest, every town for gun safety, crime going down on the day that his son is the person engaged in this. Let's go to Robert in Ben Salem on the Dom Show. Hey, Robert, afternoon. What do you have today?
Hey, Dom, Dan, it's really good to talk to you guys. I think Josh Shapiro needs to talk to his 10-year-old son, because even he would know bribery, money laundering, tax evasion, while using his drug-addicted son as a bagman is not honorable and decent. I'll stop right there. And for my answer to the side question, Dom, what's the saddest thing in life?
Wasted talent, son. It's
Wasted
true.
talent. And I got to tell you, I didn't use that because I was too bleary-eyed to think of it, but my daughter threw that back to me. We used to watch movies, and that was one of them at a family movie night. Dan, do that with your kids. You'll love it. You guys have a great day.
He works in a lot in a little bit. I love this one too, Dan. Jesse in Drexel Hill. Jesse, what's yours?
Hey, a long time ago, a guy told me this, Dom and Dan. The second mouse gets the cheese. In other words, learn from the mistakes of others. Maybe Hunter Biden should have been told that a while ago. I don't know.
Well, very nicely put. What a call. The Earl of Tacony. All right, Earl, what's yours?
My answer is be irreplaceable. I mean, because you can be replaced with someone smarter or harder working.
Okay.
Well, Earl, you're irreplaceable.
Yeah, exactly right. Here's somebody irreplaceable. The master of the side question.
Not what I would expect to hear from Joe.
Joe in Exton, a little bit late today. What's yours, Joe?
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon to you. My advice to the graduate is, on your journey through life, face the pitfalls with perseverance, and remember to keep on trucking.
I can see that in the bumper sticker in the car. Dan, this next one is a great setup. Pete and Yardley, I think I've heard this. Pete, what's yours?
Hey, Dom and Dan. My dad once said it's easy to be a bright light in a dark room, so I got to go with Confucius. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Very nice. All right, your dad and Confucius. Scott of Mount Laurel. Boy, these are the heavyweight hitters here today. Hey, Scott, what do you have today?
Hey, real quick about the Electoral College. Imagine if we had, instead of watching 5 states for cheating, we had to watch the whole country. But
yeah.
But on my advice, I always tell people this: the key to getting wealthy is to spend less than you take in. There's so many people that go out there and waste money, $5, $10 a day at Starbucks. That's $2,500 a year, and you can go on and on with things people spend money on that they don't really need or want.
Very nice. Scott, come over and deliver that to Roe. You know what I mean, Dan? That's a constant battle.
I need to hear it with my addiction to Dunkin' Donuts.
How about Hallmark gift cards? No, Hallmark the other day. Get her out. Get her out of
Drawers
there.
full of greeting cards.
Drew in Upper Darby. Drew, what's yours?
Hey, Dom, thanks a lot. You know what? This is for Dan. I think Straight Shooter is the greatest album of all time. But, you know, Dom, my advice for a young person is don't tell anyone your problems because, you know, half the people don't believe you and the other half are glad you got them. Thanks, Dom.
You know, he booked Bad Company for Drew himself just because of that one comedy.
Oh, man, that was pretty good. There you go. Bill in Bucks County. Bill, what do you have today?
Just want to remind you that Dave McCormick and Senator Joni Ernst are having a rally in Bucks County in just about an hour or two. Anyway, never let them see you sweat.
All righty, and we end with the Bruce of Northeast Philly. All right, Bruce, what's yours?
Hey, Dom, I was thinking of Plato and Socrates, but I think I came up with something better. As a graduate standing in their cap and gown, I give you these worldly words of advice. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, just don't make a pretty woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get another girl to marry you.
The sexism. I can't be part of this. I cannot be. Dan pulled some of it earlier. Not me, Ro. It's not me.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Well, they're still putting on the wife. Okay, Dan, give us some of the leaders.
That was a
here.
great one from Bruce. I do like that one.
The call was great.
Jesse and Drexel Hill, the second mouse, gets the cheese, learn from the mistakes of others. Joe and Exton, keep on trucking. And P and Yardley bringing up some Confucius with if you're the smartest person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room.
All right, so what's your winner, Dan?
I think I like Jesse and Drexel Hall. The second mouse gets the cheese.
I thought that was pretty clever.
This last one was probably the funniest one of
Yes.
the day, but I don't know if I want to endorse it. So
I would go. I like that. Watch the first mouse going in. Okay, buddy, you're going in. All right, big show tomorrow, Dan. We got a lot of great folks stopping by.
Pam Bondi at 1, Tim Daly coming on at 2.
Yes, and great side question. At least we're working on it. Richie always in the house, ready to go with 4 big hours. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Your friends say you have no taste. Go ahead and marry anyway. Your face is ugly, my eyes don't match. Take it from me, she's a better catch. If you wanna be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. So for my personal point of view, get another girl to marry.
Inflation has taken our economy by storm. According to government statistics, since 2021, the average investor paid over $11,000 extra per year. Political unrest and supply chain issues continue to push the prices of goods and services higher, forcing 40% of retirees to return to the workforce, according to a study by Atticus Law Firm. That's why the team at Crash Proof Retirement tailors each and every Crash Proof Retirement system with guaranteed inflation fighters that can increase your income up to 35% to cover rising costs without depleting your nest egg. Discover how our proprietary inflation fighters can protect your retirement lifestyle, documented in a legally binding, recorded financial meeting. Schedule an appointment or register for the next